Montrel, this is our second intro now. Listen, thank you so much for being on Easy Talk, man. I know that we've had a wide variety of guests, and we've discussed, topics from OnlyFans to fighting to politics, what have you. The reason I'm having you on more than anything is because you provide to me a depth, you provide to me a range of people that we have not had on, and I want to hear your story. And in that line of questioning, I want to start with this. When you approached me, you said, when are you going to have a real
nigga on?
N-word on?
Have a real nigga on, you heard? So I was just like, hey, we gonna have a real one on, man. Like, I ain't gonna say nobody else ain't real, but, you know, I'm the coldest, so I'm gonna be real for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be authentic. I'm gonna be what a real professional athlete's supposed to be. Not some decorated. Ain't nothing wrong with representing who you represent, but, you know, be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of you guys out here having panic attacks and can't be yourself.
Do you think that authenticity is evaporating in this game?
I mean, hey, everybody want to copy Connor. Everybody want to copy John. Everybody can't be themselves. They can't copy self. You know what I'm saying?
Well, do you think that they're trying to do that because they see the success and what they're really wanting is just to be successful themselves? Like, can you fault them?
No. But yeah. I can't fault nobody who hasn't seen the lowest level either.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you can't really experience in life if you never. It's levels to everything. You feel me? So you can't really. If just because you seen this, you haven't felt this, or you haven't felt that. So it's like.
So I think what you're trying to say is you're seeing these people and they're trying to get.
Some people are already established, so a lot of people don't understand. Where a person like myself, I'm coming from the dirt, so it's like in a way an elevator or a ladder up. So some of these people might already be up here. They gonna fall down. Some of them people gonna see each other on the way down. Some of them see each other on the way up. But it's a way of life, and it's just elevation and growth, or hindering yourself, or not, trying to go nowhere. That's my bad. Let me not try to use big words. Just basically not going nowhere. Just basically decreasing yourself overall. Period. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So it's different levels to life. Like I would rather respect the person who would speak to a homeless person before I respect the person who would, speak to.
And this is irregardless of fighting. I feel like this is something you feel like about like on a human level.
That's everyday life, because that's overall. Man.
That's you.
Yeah, character.
Again, if you don't mind, I'd like to briefly get into your history, your past, and how we kind of led ourselves to this moment, why we're on the podcast today. When you say that you've come from the dirt, I think I know what you mean, but can you articulate that for me? Just explain that to me. Like, do you mean you're, a black man from the city in that? Or do you mean monetary? Like, what do you mean when you say from the dirt?
I mean, I was never dirty. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I know what you're saying. I got the jokes. I got the jokes for you. You feel me? But no. I myself was just from the north side of St. Louis. I was raised in the county. I stumbled upon a new location in West County, and then I had the best of both worlds. So I'm not gonna always say like, oh, I was from the struggle, but majority of my life I was, as a child to about like a teenager, city, struggle, county, as a high school kid, college student, but that's supposed to be happening as a growth. You know what I'm saying? You want better for yourself, and your people should want better for you. But overall, I didn't see that at the time. I was still stubborn in my ways. So I was a club promoter also. So like I chose the streets, or I guess you could say both in a way. I wanted to become a club promoter. I wanted I wanted to do something. Like, I honestly tried to be a rapper. No bullshit. It was trash. Hard as bro. I didn't.
At least you're honest.
I didn't even get the bars, bro. I didn't even rap. I didn't even get the rap part. Went to a studio, bro, and literally, as soon as I seen the price, I can't do this shit.
Talking about like studio time to start recording.
Bro. I'm like, what?
Dude, can I say something? And you might agree with me.
Discouraged me so fast, bro.
Well, I said it to like so many other people. A lot of times, like, the barrier to entry for whatever industry, whether it's rap, whether it's podcasting, whatever it is, fighting, having money just makes it easier, universally.
As I'm 32 right now. I'm about to be 33 August 31st.
31, about to be 32. You're about the same age.
Hey, grown man shit. You feel me?
I don't feel like it.
Bro, I don't either, bro.
I feel like a big child.
Bro, I get so many people that say like, "Oh, you look like you 26, 27," but hey, it's, you keep yourself right because
we black don't crack.
We cut ourselves together doing training. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's another thing.
We don't we're real martial artists. Let me say that because or athletes in the form of things because we try. But even that, like a lot of people know how to keep themselves together, but not stressing off everyday life shit. You know what I'm saying? Like with me, be the age I am and looking the way I look or moving the way I move, I don't. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, you dwell on the past." I'm like, I don't, because if I did, you would know.
It would wear on you, literally.
For real, because like I know people that's my age that ain't got no hair, like, none of this right here. I got a cousin right now.
Dude, like, every 30-year-old bald person is like, "Shut up."
Hey, I love y'all though, man. I fuck with y'all though. But like y'all know the truth though. I know motherfuckers that was even before 30 anything, nigga had the.
That's gotta be rough. I went to high school with two guys like that, and I'm like, dude.
That's because of stress.
I don't know.
You wanna know? Don't know the real stress is because they ain't never got pussy.
Oh my god! Are you saying they're bald because they're virgins?
No, I'm saying they bald because they stress themselves off of trying to get the pussy. You know what I mean? Like you want the bitch too much, you stressing yourself,
and then you're getting bald. That is a first I've ever heard anybody say in my life.
I mean, it's real shit.
No shit.
It's real shit. Like it's like a woman being bald head herself because she want every man she can't get. Like you're mad because like just be yourself, baby. You know
have you ever heard of the disease alopecia?
It's a lie. It's a fucking lie. Jada lied to y'all. Jada lied to y'all, boy. Cause like
she had hair with Tupac.
What's breast cancer? What about the women? What about the women that actually lost their hair because of breast cancer?
Or
cancer.
They lose their hair strictly from soap.
But that's the only form of things. Well, I excuse me for not having the proper knowledge, but it's just like from what I grew up and knowing, breast cancer. That's how women lose their hair from what I've seen. But for a black woman to say alopecia.
Well, alopecia is a disease, but it's a disease that just essentially like it eliminates their ability to grow hair on their head, and that can affect both genders.
Once again, coming from a black cultural background, if you ain't never heard that word until you 32 years old and you've seen women lose hair from breast cancer or cancer, how?
Well, no, I mean I don't know if you know.
I'm not saying how like. Oh, this not a disease, but I'm saying that how and like, why all of a sudden now you want to talk about this one particular, like, this is like people all of a sudden talking about manipulation, delusion, or gaslighting. When the fuck these words come about? Who? Well, I mean, when the definition of these words come about? Excuse me, let me say that word.
The way they're being used now.
Yeah, manipulation, maybe I could give you that one. You know what I'm saying? But gaslighting or all these other words. When is this an Urban Dictionary? Is this like come on, when did like I've been incarcerated. I didn't been to the point where wordplay is a matter in court with lawyers. I didn't been around lawyers. I didn't hear lawyers. I didn't seen lawyers. I know all this stuff. Contracts, wordplay, all these things. Manipulation, delusion, when you get into relationships with people and shit. It's so much confusion in the world. As an athlete, I'm speaking on this for you guys that are athletes. Don't let that shit hinder you or bother you because you know right from wrong. If that makes sense.
It does. I mean, they know
because
how.
Because you got a lot of people that will try to deteriorate, like just try to just take you off your course.
Can I just add one bit of context? When you say that breast cancer and cancer makes them lose their hair, that's not necessarily true. It's the chemotherapy and the radiation therapy.
Thank you.
The only reason I bring that up is because like I just don't want us to say something and then someone's on the comment section like, dude, that's not what it is, Ariane.
Let him. I take all the backlash off of it. Leave him alone. I take it.
No, you're good. I want to make sure like when we're talking about certain things that we're trying to be like factual.
I'm gonna say this, bro. I don't know it all. Tell me, teach me. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
You're willing to. I guess I'm not trying to like harp on it. My whole thing on this podcast is like there's a bunch of people that sometimes say things they don't give enough context, and then I have to kind of add context, or they'll mean something, and I knew immediately what you meant when you said it, but I have to also reiterate because I just don't want someone being like, I don't want them
Okay.
getting harped on it, right?
No, absolutely. When I'm meaning in that form, also, like from my background, also from me, the ignorance of what I've seen and known from me growing up, and then you also elaborating on it, like the chemo part, but it's mainly because of the disease, them leading to chemo, to them losing their hair and stuff like that. So I do apologize for leaving it
No, you're
to the
fine.
assumption and stuff, but you know, common sense.
Do you mind if I ask you this? Have you ever had a family member, or do you know?
No, honestly, man, just recently, I only know one person. It was a recent father-in-law of mine. Basically, he's going through chemo and stuff. He got to get a kidney and he got to get a heart. But
Jesus, I'm
he's
so
been
sorry.
blessed, man. He's been blessed, bro. Like the dude, strong, real strong individual, loving man. Um, he took care of me, you know what I'm saying, in the few moments of me being around. Like he's still here, you know, but it's just it's a hard day by day for him. You feel me? But
No, dude.
he just losing a lot of mass and muscle, but he's still here though. You know, with the hair and everything, he's
Well,
still looking good. He's trying to grow his hair out to compete with mines and stuff. I'm like,
dude, I'll pray for him tonight. I
uh,
asked that because so my mother passed because of cancer, and whenever the topic is brought up, it's just so insane to me how prevalent it is.
yeah.
Like either someone knows, someone has a family member, a friend, they had it themselves. It's just so common. I think to myself like it's just a little bit of insanity to me at how in other aspects of life we're surprised when certain things happen, but when it's cancer it's almost like, oh well, are they getting treatment, all these other things.
No,
So
honestly, sometimes it be them that gives up because like he didn't have moments where he didn't want to go. He had moments where he just he ain't feeling it. You know what I mean? So it be like that sometimes, but like the only thing I can tell people like that, man, just don't give up the good fight, man. You know, that's the only thing I can say. Just don't give up the
I
good
agree.
fight. Don't give up on yourself.
Speaking of fighting, if you don't mind me asking, did I see correctly that you're going to be fighting on the next Shamrock card?
I am, I am, I am.
It's been a while, right?
It's been a while
Since you fought in St. Louis, Shamrock, or what?
since I fought. The last time I fought in St. Louis was on Gateway Fighting Series.
Oh, that's a throwback.
That
Jesus.
was, yeah, that was like 20.
Before COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah, before COVID.
For real. There we go.
2018?
Yep.
So what, we're talking about 6 years ago because it's 2024.
Yeah.
Man.
So I haven't fought in St. Louis in a long, long time. That's when I was an amateur. I haven't fought in St. Louis since I was an amateur. No, let me say this correctly. I haven't fought in martial arts action as in St. Louis since I was an amateur. I boxed in St. Louis last year at the Ambassador, but that's that. It wasn't meant for me to really win that fight, but I won it.
Well, actually, we were talking off camera about that briefly, where you were essentially, I had the quote of saying that, like, I think that there are dirty aspects of, like, the MMA promotion, but it can't hold a candle to the dirtiness that happens in boxing. Now, some of it is similarities, right? But some of it is, like, boxing is its own beast. Like, I'll give you a similarity, and you let me know if you agree with this. When you travel for fighting, always assume that you're being brought in to lose, regardless of who you are, because you're having to go into someone else's backyard. Usually, it's a local promotion. They're bringing you in to fight the local guy who's selling the tickets, who has the name, who has the local backing and the support. So they're bringing you in not to upset the crowd and upset the hometown guy. When you're coming in for boxing or MMA, they're bringing you in to lose.
Honestly, I'm going to say this, man. Every fight since, so let me give you specific dates. So when I left St. Louis in 2017, I started fighting in martial arts in Biloxi, Mississippi. Due to the fact of me not getting any type of traffic or any type of airplay in martial arts here in St. Louis, I said,
Meaning you couldn't find fights?
basically, no, not even that. Rob, Jesse, not specifically trying to say it in a way to mess up what I have going on with them right now, they just wasn't giving me what I was asking them, and we had to find other things to do with our disagreements. So I say, and also nemesis, I couldn't let them like hold me back here in this bubble in this region. So I started looking online, finding my own fights, and managing my own self, and just basically establishing myself as a management and as a brand. Two Code is what it is, but you know, as a fighter, but it's also as a brand, it will be a household name even more. But um, when I still started going on that journey, I thank them for giving me that push because it's like bro, like I learned how to do sponsorships. I learned how to basically talk like percentages. I know how to talk money with the purses now. The
Negotiations.
yeah, all these crazy things. I break down the words to. I can say negotiation, but I want them to know the words. Like these are words, terms that people get played out of because it could be negotiations all the time, but specific words mean something because like just because you don't know where per diems mean, you just missed out on you having some travel money.
Yeah.
You just missed out on you a free meal. You know what I'm saying? So it's just stuff like that. Like
You're saying that the term negotiation is a high level. When you say percentages per diem,
reading your contract and what you're agreeing upon is a huge understanding. Period, bro.
does it shock you how many people don't?
No.
No,
I got told a story about Don King promotion, man. When the guy, like, it was this guy that was training his son. He told me about how a fighter signed to Don King, and he offered him like a couple $500,000 or like that, but the dude was only getting 10 a month or 10 at a time. So he got mad at the fact that he wasn't getting the full amount that he agreed.
He thought he was gonna get 500,000, but Don King was giving him like 10,000 a month or whatever. He's like, "Yo, where's my money?"
That's your stupidity.
Well, yeah, because I'm sure it's written in the contract.
You should have read it specifically a little bit better.
Does it shock you? Oh, okay, let me kind of be careful how I word this because I'm not shocked that people don't have like attorneys and lawyers look at over these documents. But does it shock you at the power dynamic between like local promotions and fighters? I feel like sometimes there's not a whole lot of room for negotiation. Like let's say a promotion comes to you and says, we're going to offer you 400 and 400 to do this fight. I mean, if you only have one promotion in your town, now luckily for us, we have multiple promotions, but like let's say you have one promotion in your town, what leverage do you have to be like, no, I want 500 and 500? They'll be, okay, well, we don't want you. And now you don't have a fight. It's kind of, it's not wrong or right. It's business, right? But I don't necessarily like this.
You gotta make it more. You got more me. I'm gonna say this. I can't speak, and I'm gonna say this. Life or professional fighting. I can't speak for no. I said this on another show. I can't speak for another bitch or another nigga. I can't speak for another man. I can't speak for another woman. I'm gonna say that in them two forms because that's what it is in this world. We have those type of people in this world. We have people, we have men and women, we have bitches and niggas, or however we choose to want to say it. Like,
I want to know the difference.
So when I say it like this is, it's like you have to be really understanding on what you wanting and what you're going with, what you're doing with this fighting and stuff, and this overall period in order for you to get what you want. And a lot of them not presenting that sometimes, and a lot of people don't even know what they're asking of at times. So it's just like, how would you as a fighter go about asking for certain things, or how would you angle it, or not mess up something? But me personally, I look at it as you have to know your business and know how you want to establish the business and not fuck yourself out of an opportunity.
Do you think a lot of fighters just basically harp on trying to train and win fights and don't necessarily have this business savvy mind, and a lot of times get taken advantage of?
That should be a skill.
That should be a skill.
That should have been a skill before you even started the fight. That should have been like, I'm gonna say this: we all graduated elementary school, right?
I hope.
We all graduated.
I have, but I mean, I'm sure someone's gonna be like, I didn't.
I don't know who the fuck getting graduated elementary school. Shit, hey, this ain't no fucking Billy Madison, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, Happy Gilmore, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the name of the movie. So quote me right.
No, Billy Madison, you had it right first time.
All right, so, but like,
I know my Adam Sandler.
Bro, I fuck with Adam Sandler. I wish I could meet that man one day, but like you gotta make things make sense for you. Like I honestly feel like it's always cool to want to be greedy. You could want to be greedy, but you have to understand like take some of that back some. Like you have to actually understand, like if you trying to get somewhere, you have to, especially being representing yourself, you can't just always take. And then if you always taking, you gotta understand that the integrity of how you wanna, take these things and just not understand like you gonna fuck up this opportunity. You feel me?
I agree.
Because with me, I had a fight promoter. He offered me like with boxing. So some of the boxers they pay more. So I'm like, shoot, give me, he was a 4 rounder. I know the most I could get paid for a 4 rounder. I could get paid a little bit more up to 5, but I didn't got paid 3. So I'm like, shit, give me, 225. He tried to offer me 1,500. No, 225. Plus flight, plus my room, plus that, plus my per diem. So that's probably like another 300.
Oh, dude, more than that for a flight, hotel, per diem, more than that. Yeah.
That all about adds up to like 5.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe more, brother.
So you gotta really do the math. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't do the simple math.
Well, I talk to a lot of promoters, and it's a weird paradigm I have because I myself was a fighter. I've never been a promoter, right? I understood the game from my perspective. I was the labor, I was the talent, and I was always trying to negotiate for more money.
You understood it from the marketing standpoint of view, though.
Oh, I thought I did it pretty well, to be honest with you. But I never understood it from the promoter's aspect until I started talking to the promotions. And the promotions will tell you, like, this expense, this tax, this, and I get it. I do think that having a local promotion is actually a tough business. A lot of these guys, the margins that they operate on is less than you would think.
I feel like they make it hard because they schemers. Because
extrapolate.
Like if you
they make it hard because they're schemers.
Like if you established it the right way, you had it right. Then somewhere down the line, it started fucking up. Where to the point where it's hard now. It don't make sense to the point where you started the business and then all of a sudden now it's a stress now. I mean, yes, success it's with success. Yes, it's common stress. Understood, but if you really doing genuine work, it shouldn't have stressed you at all.
I think I agree if what you're trying to say is that when these businesses start up, usually it's with better intentions. And then as the money starts coming in, as the success starts rolling in, suddenly the paradigm of this shifts where it was a little bit more wholesome, maybe a little bit more honest. Now it's becoming a little bit more bastardized. It's becoming something that it's no longer what it used to be in the sense of like now they're chasing the dollar instead of the product.
Yeah, for shit show. They lost the integrity of it.
They lost the integrity of it.
You know what I'm saying? That's why Dana White still have the UFC how it is because he has integrity behind what he's doing, and you can actually hear it in what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not like he has other things, and then he just started up another organization off of the organization.
I think he's an animal.
You know what I'm saying? Like make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like if and then you gotta really do the math. Like I said, like I could when I say, bro, man, a lot like I am a big threat. And it's the only reason why I'm a big threat because a lot of these people then underdogged me as an amateur. You know what I'm saying? And excuse me. The only reason why it's like underdog, it was like I'm one of those people where I was homeless. So I believe in the alpha male, all that shit, like the adapt to your environment and also like I said, I've been incarcerated. So like me being in jail, I have to really watch my surroundings and pay attention to certain things and little details in life, or I would have died at an early age. Off of just like I didn't go to prison, I was just in jail. So it's a lower form level, and it's still crazy in jail. If you crash out in jail compared to prison, you deserve to crash out because it's like prison is a different dimension and it's a different demon. So if you get to that, it's like yeah, but if you fuck up there. It's like, that's you. Because it's like, it's state, then you got feds, then you got bigger. So it's just like, you fuck up at this level, that means it's you personally. Outside of the crime that we know, it's just the mental aspect of what you learned in the jail.
Can I ask you a question? And I want to see if you agree with me or don't. I think that there is a cycle to poverty. And I think that it is... I do believe that the majority of it is created by us for a reason.
It's what you make it, because a lot of people I feel like right now, it's sad to say, like I was raised by some firm men in my family,
firm men,
like real aggressive, like real established, like stand on business men,
masculine men.
Yes, sir. So it's like now that I established myself as a man in my profession and in my life, and I'm trying to establish something in my life. Now they're elder, they feel as though I have to soften up. No. Where was that love when I was a child? Where was that love when I was a teenager? When I was growing into be a man or growing into that young man to be something, to be like how you want me to be. You didn't.
Are you saying that when you were growing up, there was this masculine man as like a father figure or a guardian, so to speak, but now that you're in the perspective or the purview of being a man and a father and all these things, they're telling you to be softer? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's how the universe is playing it right now. That's how I'm calling it the universe
I say
because
fuck that.
yeah, because like me personally, man, like I love fighting. I love confrontation because of fighting, but I don't try to be confrontational with people because I'm more understanding of people's perspective because I force myself to understand people's perspectives because I don't know you personally. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, I want you to understand. I want to lead this whole area, whatever we at, on this understanding level of I understood you. If you didn't understand me, that's cool. I understood you, and that's where in life a lot of people say, well, you can't assume for this person because you can't think for this person. But at the same time, I can understand. I could try to understand, and I could probably catch something out of whatever you done said to me to hinder, like to prevent something in the future from coming up or defense
Yeah.
or whatever.
Learn
But
from the
it just
interactions.
it is all on how you choose to view the mind or encounterment of the situation. You feel me?
I do.
But
I listen. There's a lot of things that you're saying that I do resonate with. First, I do agree with the fact that like I feel like as a man, as a father, I'm told, and I've had discussions with my wife, and I don't want to say arguments, but like let's just say difference of opinions on how we raise our daughter, and it has come up a couple times because I'm the disciplinarian in the family, right? And my wife tells me things like, it's okay, she's little, and all these other things, and constantly gives the baby or the child a little bit more leeway. And I'm trying to explain to my wife, I'm like, listen, if I allow my child to do whatever they want, how will I then be able to show them how to navigate the world when all they know is being able to do whatever they want? Like this, it's not sustainable for the long run. I have to create discipline in the house because there needs to be discipline in the world,
it's so
or the
crazy.
world will do way worse to you than I could ever do in the house.
So it's so crazy that you say it in the way that you're saying it. So let's say your woman was a urban woman, like from the hood, like or let's say you dated a black chick, or you married a black chick, or not even black chick. Just let's say your chick was just from the hood. Period. Let's just say who she is, and she was really raised around black people
Okay.
in the hood, for real, urban. Now, where I was raised on seeing this shit, it's like most of our people or most people in these societies or in the society of urban, they just let the kids do what they do, and they learn how they learn. You know what I mean? Like, and not they watching, but
They're observing.
you know what I'm saying. But they like, I'm not gonna keep worrying myself about telling you to stop. Like, cause a lot they worrying about other things. You know what I'm saying? They worrying about
What about
how to get money, worrying about how to make sure the lights stay on, worrying about how to if they gotta go to work, worrying if they gotta ride to work, worrying about little things to make sure they got things to do to make sure they can provide for their children. But all in all, the child out here being a rugrat and being bad, but at the same time, their child is being more they're how can I say this? Um being they growing they establishing on how to be hard and being rough by being just them. You know? So if they bump their
Well,
head
being
and they
hard and being rough is a part of their environment. Does that make sense? If you let a kid who's like super wealthy around
wealthy
other
things,
super
but
wealthy kids,
they become more soft, they become more
yeah,
diligent, they
it's
become
the
more loving.
environment. You become hard because the environment makes you.
But you also could be two of one. Like you got her as the loving one, you have the one that's the real aggressive. So you could teach her how she choose to. Like, you could teach her what you choose to teach her. Like you done probably seen little spy movies or seen little movies where fathers and daughters where the you just don't want to push that off. You know what I'm saying? Because like
I gotta be careful, right? So like I think it's a sweet balance.
cause it's weird.
If I'm too aggressive, well then she'll never want to come up to me. She'll never feel like I'm
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
what I
mean?
said. It's
But if I'm
weird.
too lenient,
You
Well,
gotta
then I'm
make
her
it.
friend. I'm not her friend.
You gotta make it more. You gotta make it more. I don't. I can't really say because I have 3 kids. I have a 13-year-old and a 9 and 8-year-old. Two
Okay.
girls that's 9 and 8. Now my 2 girls, they are bad. They are bad as fuck. I ain't gonna even flex. But they love the fact. Now all my kids love the fact that I fight. You know what I'm saying? My son, he played baseball and he played basketball, and he's a freshman. And my girls are in gymnastics. But at the
Okay.
same time, nobody don't know I even have kids too. But
Well, boy, do they know now.
tell me about it. So, but at the same time, it's like um, to be firm with girls, but with my particular girls, they already rough. They're in that environment of roughness. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really be mad if I have aggressive women as your daughters. You know,
I got to be completely honest with you. I'm okay with the aggression. My daughter has attitude. I'm fine with all that. What I'm not fine with is disrespect. Does that make sense?
being
When
disobedient.
I say, give me attitude, cry when I say, that's fine with me. I'm not telling you to not be human. But when dad says something, it means fucking do it.
I get what you mean.
Until you get to a certain age. I'm not your friend.
No,
I'm your
understood.
father.
No, that's understood. Cause that's how I felt when I was dating this one particular woman, and I was explaining to her like I can't. I am not comparing a child to a animal, but I'm saying it in a manner of like if I'm trying to establish myself with a child or something that's growing and just trying to understand
Maturing.
life and mature in life, I want to be able to establish myself like you're establishing yourself. If it's a partnership,
Yeah.
you know, if the woman like even 9 out of 10, the nurturer is the one who's going to be more connected to the child.
That's my wife.
But I would love to be able to have some type of say too. And I'm not taking away what your power is, but I want to at least be able to have the same power you have.
Brother, I'm going to go a step further. Okay.
Or at least have a like.
I tell my wife,
little
I tell my
fanny
wife
pack
all
or
the time, I'm
something.
like, listen, you're gonna be the nurturer. You're gonna be the one that she goes to when she cries and all that. I'm gonna be the one that she comes to when she has a problem.
But at the same time, you want both. You want that same power. You want the same power because you want to know why. You would just have to. It'd be a new lesson for you as a man. It'd be a new lesson if you. It'd just be something new.
Well, I will say this: I want power because there's nothing I am doing in my life that is more important than rearing my children, getting them ready for the world, right? And if they fail, that is partially my fault as a man and as a father.
Do you feel as though that your daughter should come to your mother to the mother about almost everything and not come to you about anything?
When she gets older,
No, in general.
you know what I want? I want it to be like when I was a kid. I came to my mom for little shit. When I, scraped my knee and all these other things, I came to my mom. But when shit hit the fan, I came to my dad. And that's what I want from my daughter. The little stuff, let mom handle that. I don't care. It doesn't really matter, right? And my wife is more empathetic, she's more nurturing. She's got those skill sets that I just don't have. But that's why I was saying earlier, like when you have an issue, go to your mom. But when you have a problem, when you have something that is hindering you, you come to me. Dad'll handle that shit.
No, for sure.
But here's the thing though, right? If I'm gonna be the one who has to take on the responsibility of handling that shit, well then I'm gonna be the one who also tries to prepare her to make it so that I never have to handle that shit. Because if my wife is the one nurturing, raising, and all this exclusively, well then when she gets to a certain age, now I have to deal with all the things that she didn't learn from the masculine perspective. My job then becomes harder later on. It's an investment like any other. It's easier to teach kids when they're younger. It's the same thing in fighting. In fighting, if you learn bad habits, it's harder to unlearn bad habits. Let's say you're throwing a jab and your hand's down, right?
Yeah.
Well, now it's harder to teach a guy who's been doing that for 3 years to keep his hand up. No. So I tell my wife all the time, I'm not waiting until she's 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm telling her now, keep your hand up when you throw the jab. In all aspects of life. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can do this, you can do that. But the boundaries have to be set. And I do believe that is my responsibility as a man. I don't need to do 90% of the talking or 90% of the action. But the 10% that I do have to do is vastly important.
I agree. As to understand your perspective is like me in the environment I've come from. It's so hard to be that type of person that you're trying to what you're explaining to me because most women don't allow that. But when
you say most women don't allow,
like I said, most black women don't allow that shit.
because
But I can't really say most black women because I done dated so many other cultures that does the same thing. That's in the how can I say this, domain, or in the realm, or in the level of mentality I'm in, to be encountered with each other.
do you think that African American women have become too aggressive?
No, I don't believe so. I just feel like shit. You got the same right I got, but it's just like you should have the understanding like I got the understanding. We got
Meaning
brains.
you're still willing to be a partner, but sometimes it feels like they're not.
You choosing not to want to understand.
Ooh.
You choosing to have a problem. Like if like I just explained this to someone in the car ride here. If I have an anger problem, right? Let's say if it's that time of month for her. Oh, don't talk to me. Oh, I'm not in the mood. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. Now I gotta deal with this. Now, what's the difference if I have an attitude, or I have a little disagreement, or I just made you a little frustrated? I took my time out to understand your issue, or your pain, or what you're going through.
What's going on in your life at the moment?
And not once, not twice, probably a few times. Who knows? But to the fact of try to use emotion as a weapon, it's not cool.
Do you think there's a double standard? Meaning they can do it and you can't?
I could care less. I believe you could do it even better. I don't care. I believe in that. I believe they could do it like I could do it. I done been around women. I done dated women that dated women, man. Like, I'm for real. So it's just like, you telling me that a woman that dated another woman that wanted to be an alpha, now she get with a real alpha, now she telling me that she can't do shit? Okay. How, if you were just with a woman that you wanted to be the alpha with, and you wanted to be the dominant one, and you wanted to do this, now you get with someone that's you're willingly being dominant, and you're willingly, submittingly, just naturally doing it. How? You can't force that. Now you're getting upset with yourself because you're going against your own will, because you're forcing something that's
you're going against your own nature.
Because it's now, to most guys or boys, you could get that off with, but an actual person that you match up with, it's just gonna be it's just gonna be a headache. You're gonna be hitting your head because you're not.
I would go as far as to say that most men aren't men either. So like whenever I see women,
most women do get off what they get off with.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
Now we live in a day and age where men buying pussy and willingly buying the pussy.
I know.
Like, how the fuck you like, man? Look, I came from a background with pimping, and I come from a background with a lot of hoes. At the end of the day, you're a mouthpiece. It gets you in so many doors. If you ain't got this, you can't do shit. If you
what do you
don't
mean
know
by that? Your mouthpiece.
You don't know how to talk.
Okay, communication.
If you don't know how to communicate, man, dude, it's something like, let's say we was in a house where it's 4 girls and it's 4 guys.
By the way, I got to do something for you.
What's up?
You mean you were around that world, but you never did that world, right?
How you choose to word it?
Yeah. You were around that world. You were around that world. I'm looking out, brother.
Yeah, right on. Appreciate that. But yeah, I was raised into it though. Not raised into it. Let me say that I was raised up.
You were exposed to it.
Yeah, I was really exposed into it. But at the same time, it's like your mouth is your golden ticket. You just need to know how to talk. You know what I'm saying? Communication is key. Communication is key. You heard people that marry say that shit. You heard people that are politicians say that shit. You got people that's in power say that shit. You got people that's really doing something that say that shit, and people don't pay attention to that. You know, like, if you know how to communicate, you can get anywhere. You got women that can know how to communicate and get their asses in a lot of things. You got guys that can do it too, and they just don't do it right sometimes.
Well, I also think that just men have, in the vacuum of masculinity, women have had to step up. I had Whitney McAllister on. She's an OnlyFans model. And she tells me that like a lot of men kind of like demean her or tell her like, oh, you're this, that, and the other. And I tell her, I'm like, hey,
weirdos.
listen. Well, here's the other thing I was going to say is like, this is going to be very bad for me to say, but like, who are these men? Yeah, go ahead, brother. Do you want another sphere? No. You want another cube or anything?
No.
Okay, yeah, dude. That's why we put it in reach of the guests. You don't got to ask, my man. I'll actually join you after you're done pouring yourself one. I'll pour myself one too.
Sure. You want some of this one or you want some of this one?
Yeah, JJ is Jeremy Johnson. His whiskey, uppercut whiskey. It's good shit.
I'm gonna check it out. Cause I've been trying to ask him for a bottle. He ain't give me one.
You want a bottle?
Yes, I do.
We got bottles.
Say less. He ain't give me one.
Say less. I got you.
No, I'm real with mine. I ain't bullshitting. Like, you know, I had my old messages on my Instagram. Like, I got pictures, man. I'm legit in these streets, man. Everybody know what's up because, like, I'm too cold. My bad if I was too close, but like, too cold ain't no joke, man. Excuse me. Like, I'm connected with a lot of people, man, but I don't be on bullshit with people. Like, I don't waste people's time. I don't try to waste people's time. Like,
salute, brother.
Salute. I don't try to waste people's time. Thank you for having me again, man.
Dude, thank you for being on.
No, most definitely. But also like the tell you what I was trying to what we were talking about off the.
We were talking about okay. So forgive me because
I got you.
Whitney McAllister, men, kind of demeaning her, and I'm like, well, who are these men? Like, what are these men doing? I came from a background.
Well, dude, they can get the cootie cat.
I came from.
Oh, dude, whatever the hell we want to do. I done heard some weird stuff, bro.
Dude, there was this like I'm European, right? I'm Albanian. We came from this like machismo background where like you had to respect men for being just by virtue of being a man. And I was like, okay, sure. But then when I grew up, I did martial arts. I did like wrestling and things like that. And the mentality was completely different. You don't respect someone by virtue of who they are, like just by how they exist. I don't respect Montrel James because he's Montrel James. I respect Montrel James because of how he walks this world, or Ariane Zekli, whoever. So it went from like respecting men for just by virtue of having cock and balls to are men walking this earth like how men should be? Are they disciplined? Are they having responsibility? And I don't necessarily mean discipline and responsibility in the sense of like a relationship. I'm talking about life. Are you handling your business? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking care of more than yourself?
I mean, some people are too privileged or too comfortable to understand that.
I don't think it has anything to do with like, okay, I want to take this back. It can be a factor. I think it's the way you're raised, and like the way you're raised can be, yes, if like you're overly privileged and you have like the means and the resources, of course. Like how many times have you heard wealthy people, they have kids and then the kids piss away everything?
I had friends when I was younger that was pretty in good positions with their family. I was in a messed up position with mine, but my mom died, so I was really out in the streets. They chose to be in the streets. You get what I'm saying? So that was a choice. Now, a lot of people nowadays and age, they try to play victims just so they could get some type of whatever. Or some people just try to play like they don't know. But they know. They just want to get an upper hand in life. That's how I look at it sometimes. But, I mean, I try not to argue with those type of people. And then I've been having people lately talking about, oh, don't dwell on that. Don't trip off that. Just keep moving forward. I guess that's the universe. But me personally, I address it when I need to address it. You know what I mean? On those type of people. But honestly, it just...
Terribly sorry to interrupt the content that you're enjoying right now. But if you've been watching our content for the past couple of months, you realize that Easy Talk is a brand new podcast. We're genuinely trying to figure this thing out as we're going. Some growing pains for sure. If you are genuinely enjoying this content, we feel very humble in that. But we would like to ask that you would also subscribe and like to the channel, simply because it does help us in the algorithms and ultimately to grow. So take a second. I'd really appreciate it. And on with the show. You were just talking about how there were kids around you that chose the streets where you didn't necessarily have that choice. Can you elaborate what you mean by that? Was it like they chose the streets because they were enticed to? They thought it was cool? Like, what do you mean when you say they chose the streets?
I think it was cool, bro, because like I had a white friend. Well, he was white and Hispanic. I had two black friends. One of them, he was raised in Hazelwood. His mama was a roadie manager or a rep manager for a band, and she used to do a holiday. She used to do the holiday special at the pageant every holiday in the wintertime. And like when I went to her house and I seen her, and then our other friend, I guess he was kind of like the urban one, but he wasn't the urban one, I guess. But if anything, I was the one that was really hood. Because when they met me, I was outside pimping. I wasn't trying to.
You were exposed to it.
Whatever.
You were exposed to it, and you were...
No, I was just playing with y'all. I was
you were exposed to it.
I was outside with like some women I knew, and basically we was trying to make some money, and we was washing cars.
Entrepreneurship.
That part. And basically, like, shoot, you know, these three guys pulled up smoking weed in a little Honda, one of them little weird little triangle, little weird shaped cars. And when they pulled up, some of the girls went over to their car, talking to them, trying to see if they want their car washed. They washed it, but at the same time, I want to be nosy and like, shit, what y'all smoking on? And they let me hit their weed, and then from there we became friends. And I had the plug because I knew someone that was like, give me weed for like $3 at the time. Like, I was 19 years old, and I had a nice little weed plug. And at that time, before weed just changed up, it was Mid and me, like Reggie and Mid. And I know, and if you wanted some
Dude,
kush,
weed has completely changed.
yes, if you wanted some kush, you really needed some paper to really find the kush or some purple. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that was that. So they was cool with me just off the strength of I had the plug on the weed. So from there, we all became cool. And then from there, my mom passed. And, you know, I just went all the way into just street mode, you know, went homeless.
Do you mind if I ask how your mother passed?
I believe a brain tumor or something like that. Dealing with her brain, though. That's the only thing I can really describe. I can't really give you much details on it because I didn't really have much details on it. I really can't really even tell you what it was. I just know it was dealing with her brain, stress, a lot of stress. She was a nurse, caring for people, and then just home, and then coming home, not getting the care or whatever the hell probably it was, or just overstressing.
Was it just you and your mom at the house at the time?
No, she had three. It was me. I'm the oldest of my mom kids and my father kids. She had two other. I had two younger siblings, and then she got married and had my youngest brother.
Gotcha.
But basically, I got incarcerated over some dumb stuff, wrong place, wrong time, and did like 8 months in county at Clayton. Came home. I say like in April she passed away in July. Yep, April, May, June, July. Like July 13th she passed away. And then from there it was
when
just
you were
like
19?
Yeah. At that time, from there it was just like the roller coaster of, oh, if you need me, I'm here.
Oh my God.
Oh, if you need me, call me.
I've heard that.
I am here to tell you guys, if you ever hear anybody tell you that, I am here giving you the cheat code. You better take that offer right then and right there. You better take it right then and right there on the next day. Because if you wait, you ain't gonna never get it. I promise you. If you need a place to stay, you better use that person that asked you. Or if you need somewhere to stay, come on through. You better use it.
Can I tell you something that happened when my mom died when I was 19 as well? By the way, brain tumor because of radiation from bone cancer. So we have a lot of similarities on finding. But one of the things I'll never forget, Montrel, is these women that my mom was sharp. And she used to tell me all these stories about some of the people around. And she'd be like, these aren't my friends. These are my friends. These aren't my friends. And then everybody that she gave respect to or like would say like, this person will be there for you, Ariane. They've been there for me. And all the other people, and I'm talking about minority of people, one or two.
No.
All these other people that were there for the funeral, crying, all this other stuff, they were the ones like fighting over the belongings. Who would get the dress? Because it was me, my brother, and my dad. So like there were some things that we held on to from like, you know, like memorial, like stuff that I'm going to give to my daughter when she gets to a certain age. Yeah. But like clothes, some jewelry and stuff like that. Like we were all like, I don't know, what am I going to do with this? Like, we'll just give it away, right? Montrel, when I tell you, I saw grown women fighting over $30 dresses and shit like that. I'm just thinking to myself, like,
because they've been waiting,
bro.
They've been waiting to take our shit.
I don't know if it's. I don't know if when you are faced with your own mortality, you get like some sort of wisdom, like when you start.
Man, I'm gonna say this. Remember when what's that beautiful lady, Hispanic lady was Selena?
Mm-hmm. The singer.
The singer. Let me say that. Imagine if your mom was her, and all those things you just said to me, that what happened? Whew.
Is that how it happened? I'm sorry, man.
No, I'm just saying. No. I'm just saying in the aspect of how you explain it, like, whew.
Yeah.
Like I can only imagine how you feel, bro. Because like, bro, I can only like your mom must have been like stunning. Your mom must have been really a mind blowing person to just have people just want to take from her when she passed. Like,
Montrel,
bro,
she was the best.
Honor.
She was the best person I've ever met or known in my life.
You feel me?
Truly,
bro. Look,
I'm 31 years old.
Like I got a letter. Like I say, a few months down the line, I forgot where the hell I was at, bro. But it was a specific letter meant for me, her child. And I seen
From your mom?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, you good. But basically, her organs was donated or was given to someone that saved another person's life, and I never knew that. You know what I'm saying? I never knew she was an organ donor. I never knew none of these things. Like I never knew nothing. Like I just never knew. Like my mom was very secretive in her own little.
Well, she handled her business.
Yeah, she handled her business, but like I never knew shit. It was just weird. So when that time happened, it was just like okay. But when it happened, I had a really life hit me differently. Like I was just one of those people that I was around a lot of things, and I just was presented to live life. I wasn't one of those people that was forced to be something that someone else wanted to be. Like, oh well, you got to watch the kids because I'm not grown enough to watch the kids. You get me? And I'm 13 years old, but you 37 years old. You feel what I'm saying?
You were given those responsibilities.
No. I wasn't given those responsibilities. I was blessed to not have those responsibilities.
You were allowed to be a child.
I was blessed to be a child. That's why I try to explain to people nowadays, like, a lot of people are not letting kids be kids. They're not letting people be people. So many people was raised up to be something that, like, I had a client, bro. This man wanted to argue with me in so many ways, shape, form, and fashion, but I found out the reason why he wanted to be aggressively disagreeing with me because I'm like, one, you're paying me to train. Why are we even arguing about your personal life? But needless to say the less, it was just like, why are you holding on to your parents' burdens? Not anyone in general, because we are all meant to live our own life. We are all meant to leave the nest. We are all now. If it's some stuff like some kung fu samurai shit where a father died, a mother died, and this is for my country shit, then hey, you signed up for that shit.
They call that legacy.
You feel me? You signed up for that shit, and you know that shit. Now, for the simple, ordinary person, why? Why are you stressing yourself over something that you know damn well that ain't your problem?
Meaning a lot of the pressures that we get from our parents. Like, why are you allowing them to be pressures?
Bro, I didn't have women tell me, oh, well, I got to do this because my mama and my daddy. Or I had guys tell me, oh, I do this because my father wasn't. No, bro. You got to live life for you.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like you can't contradict yourself and tell a person that, oh, well, you hindering on the past, but you telling me about how you want to do and accomplish some goals that your father or your mother didn't accomplish. You feel me?
I'm going to give you some anecdotal, something very similar to what you're talking about. And then I want to actually move on to fighting, if you don't mind. When me and my wife now was my girlfriend, we were having a lot of disagreements on a lot of shit. Just arguments about direction and where we're going to go, right? I knew this was the woman. But I had...
y'all even did that. You knew that was the one question. Like, you don't got me, motherfucker, that we even argue about a left.
Yeah, so right. So like I had to explain to her because she would be like, well, my parents want this and my parents want that. And I told Bruno, I was like, listen, maybe it's because my mother died when I was 19. And I know exactly what you mean when you say like life changed. Yeah. Because then I started realizing that like
people that say like that, speak like that, like it's weird because like understand you can't live for your parents. You gotta live for you.
That's exactly what I told her. I was like, dude, I was like,
what do you want?
I said, your parents will eventually die. The greatest gift you can give your parents is to outlive them.
I'm gonna say this, like everybody know this fucking shit. Everybody, from me, you, and your camera crew, motherfucker, half the world live, half the relationships when marriages only together is because if they had children, and that's the only fucking reason why most marriages are together because of children.
Well.
But if they didn't have children, I guarantee you half of them would have been done. Half of them would have been separated.
Hold that thought because I have a topic on that as well. But let me just end this one, right? I had to tell my wife, like, your mom and dad will not outlive you. You will outlive them. And I know this because my mother has passed. I do not live to please my father because at some point my dad will pass way before me. I need to live in order to please my wife, my children, everybody else in my life, my friends, my family, right?
That's a double form of manipulation.
Yes, it's like I'm not trying to live my life by your standards.
Even though you don't want nothing, like in the end, it's gonna be a thing where it's gonna how can I say this?
Drown you.
That because you allow you depended on that person so much.
How many people do you know do shit that they don't want to do to please mom and dad? Oh, well, I want them to be proud of me, or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, they lie about it just to disguise it up. Because
yes.
That's basically a grown person now, they disguise it up. If they're young, they address it like, oh, yeah, I want them to be proud. But if they're older now, by our age, they're disguising it up now, bro. I promise you, they're gonna disguise it up because they just don't want to look foolish. They don't want to come off as. They don't want to look. They don't want to be looked down or frowned upon.
Have you ever heard the term "keeping up with the Joneses"? Right. I think it's only gotten worse as time has gone on. I was blessed where my father is like just super chill guy. You know what I mean? He never pressured me or my brother into anything. My mother was a lot of like, not pressure, but like, she didn't care what we did. She just cared that whatever it is that we did,
He was on the back end though.
We were just trying to be the best at it.
He was on the back end though.
She was
on y'all ass, but he was on the back end.
Yes, you're probably right. You're probably fucking right. He's probably chill because he didn't have to do 90% of the work.
Huh? He knew she was on his. She knew she on that. But that's the thing about it. He knew he got a woman that was gonna do her fucking shit.
He chose.
He found a great companion that's gonna do the fucking job, the mission, take care of us and take care of what we gonna have going on. That was a partner. That was a legit partnership.
Montrel, you don't know how right you are.
That's a legit partnership. Because if I can sit back and chill, like if you honestly think about it, the man is there to be a servant, to be the aggressor. But the woman is more the loving, caring one. But you got some women that want to be the aggressor too. But that's her, and you can play that role. But if you don't want to listen as a child, that's hey, what your mom say?
Yep.
Sit down, chill out.
Yeah. I'll tell you this right now. My dad never had to raise his voice because you want to know why they worked? Do you want to know why they worked? They worked because my mom was like the head of the household. For 95% of shit, my dad would sit and observe. The 5% of the time where my dad would stand up and speak, my mom had the respect of sitting down and letting him lead. And I think that's the beauty of it.
I'm not saying this word equality. That's equal.
I don't know if it's equality or
I probably said the word
partnership. I think is the
that's equal. That's equal.
Partnership. It's a partnership.
That's equal. Like the fact that he allowed her to do her.
It's mutual respect.
She allowed him to do him, and ain't no one, baby. Why you trying to?
You want to know what my father told me after the fact?
That's love, right? That's love.
Well, you want to know what my father told me after the fact, that I didn't realize the wisdom of this. He said that when my brother was born, because I'm the younger brother, right? My brother is my older brother. When my brother was born, my father went to my mother and said, listen, we will always have disagreements on how we do things.
Always.
But we will never do it in front of the kids. In front of the kids, we will show them unity and strength, that we are a team. And I can't tell you how much, when I was growing up, I saw, you were saying the kids, how they observe. I saw that. I never saw my parents like argue. I mean, they would argue about like little shit, but like big arguments, I never saw
like
that.
Putting their hands on each other.
Never.
Like,
trust me, there were some times where I thought like my dad lost his shit, but my dad dude, I grew up poor, Montrel, but I was rich in love and like discipline and responsibility.
That's what's crazy to me. When I grew up around fighting. I grew up around people hitting each other. I grew up around motherfuckers busting each other across the head with skillets and pots and shit.
You grew up in the north side.
I grew up well, technically in the JVL. I guess you call it JVL old St. Louis.
It was a harder town than mine.
Yeah. So, but basically, put like this, man. Like when I grew up and I actually started seeing how people address each other and started talking like, oh, let's no, like how we describing these. It just threw me off. It threw my head perspective off a little bit. But I'd be like, I understand what y'all mean because I tell a woman in a heartbeat that I'm like any new woman or any woman, like don't put your hands on me because I'm not putting my hands on you. I'm gonna talk to you as much as I possibly can, or I will leave you. I don't care.
Dude, that's such a wisdom.
No, I'm gonna say no. This is the wisdom. Right? It's pimping is a non-contact sport. You can
Jesus
leave.
Christ!
Pimping is a non-contact sport. You can leave.
Oh my God!
It is. You can leave.
Oh, you had me until the end.
But let's get into this fighting, though, man.
Well, listen, brother, you're the Cage of Honor champion. I mean, we talked briefly about how you had to kind of leave St. Louis to get some fights and all this stuff. Clearly, it seems that you're doing something right because I'm sitting next to a belt holder, right? But let me kind of formulate the next part of this conversation. You've seen some success in MMA. What is it that you are trying to do now? What is the goal? Is the goal UFC?
Bro, all I know is future Hall of Famer.
But for what promotion? For what industry?
Man, that's
boxing,
we can't,
MMA.
We can't tell. We don't know how it's gonna go.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know. As an athlete, we don't know.
What is your goal?
A future Hall of Famer, household name brand, another world champion or be an actual world champion. Because this right here is just a regional champion belt. I want to be a world champion. If I could be a double world champion, triple world champion, it's possible. But at the same time, I want to be a Hall of Famer. And the only reason why I say a Hall of Famer, because I'm more active than the real fighters that's from this region. I'm more active than the actual fighters that actually represented from someone. I'm more active than any fighter that's actually from any state. Like, no one's representing themselves and fighting back to back like I'm fighting. I only had suspensions due to marijuana. Yeah, that's all.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
you know who I'm having on in a week? The State Athletic Commission leader, Tim Lukinov. I'm actually going to ask him about that.
My boy, I fuck with Tim.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
I love Tim, man.
But one of the things I want
to
talk to him about is like, what is this marijuana thing? It's legal in the state of Missouri.
Man, look, Tim gonna tell you everything it is to need to know. I'm not gonna even say that, boy. I love you, Tim. I thank you, Tim. Mr. Tim.
Cool cat.
The best man in the world, man.
You know he's been doing it for 30 years.
You know he used to be over all of the commissioners.
Yeah. I think he still is, isn't he?
No, he's here from Missouri. Only from Missouri.
Wait. He used to be the athletic commission.
I'm going to let him tell you that.
No way.
I'm going to let him tell you that.
No shit.
I'm gonna let him
I didn't know that.
I
still don't know that.
I'm going to let him tell you that.
That's hilarious. Not hilarious, but
it's
that's
so funny
like...
that I'm the only person that not as privileged as the fighters that you had on here and never knew that.
No,
I can tell you some more stuff that you don't even think I know about commissioners. Like outside of the
Don't say names. Don't say names.
No.
I'm with you.
I ain't even on. I ain't even that personal about it.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna say states. I had a problem with New Mexico, and I had a problem with Texas.
The athletic commission.
Yes.
Specifically.
No,
specifically what?
Oh my bad. Specifically over marijuana. So now. When are
they drug testing you legitimately?
Yeah, they drug tested me. Well, one was the first one in Houston was over a boxing match. Now, basically, they drug tested me before I had the fight, and then basically they gave me the.
Montrel said, "Yeah, it's in my system."
Yeah, I told them though. Like I basically, took the test. They did everything. I had the fight. They didn't give me the test back until a month later. But I had an MMA title fight in Mississippi that was scheduled for April 15th. Now, I signed the contract. Legally, I'm still obligated for that fight. Now, the whole thing was the fact they went around and issued. Now, this is why I hate the legal system. Let me say this the way that I'm saying the legal system. Because it's like, if you're going to update your system, because I shouldn't have to be walking around with paperwork to inform the officer like, yo, I did my time, sir, or yo, I shouldn't have to do that because that's your job. Dude, I shouldn't have to be.
I cannot agree more.
Now, when it comes to that particular thing, all right, so they didn't upgrade the system. They tried to play the game of the fact of like, oh, I asked them like, can I pay the fine? Oh, that's a process. How long is the process? Because right now,
pay a fine for what? Smoking weed and getting caught?
It was I was over like 1,000.
Doesn't matter.
It was I was like actively.
Can I ask you a question? Have you ever had to take a drug test for performance enhancing drugs? Because I haven't.
No.
But I've had to take something for weed.
Yeah, no.
Shit makes sense.
I think that's more than so. Put like this. So when in promotion, so.
But isn't that more important?
Yeah. Really
are you on steroids?
No.
They're not testing for that, but they're testing if you're taking a metabolite or some shit.
Man, that's what I be saying too. So like that's why I said.
Because I fought guys that I know were on steroids.
It was specifically made for me to take that specific. So some of those tests are meant like so that promotion bought that specific test for me to take. You know what I'm saying? So why didn't I get the test results for anything else other than just marijuana? Yeah. Because I pissed and.
Well, did you tell them that beforehand?
Man, that's what I said. So that's why I'm explaining everything. So like they didn't like the fact that I was so educated on about when I'm asking them about their policies and everything like that in Texas.
Well, let me ask you this if you don't mind. When you told them, were you telling them like just so you guys know? Or
no, I'm telling them like so I can save my title fight, so I can have my title fight. Like, I can pay you guys. No, like the boxing match in Houston already done. Now I'm to the point where I'm trying
You're
to
trying
get
to save
this-
the next fight.
I'm trying to make sure the next fight happen. I'm trying to make sure I can pay you guys so I can get this shit off my record. I'm trying to make sure I can move around.
You have to pay a fine for this,
bro. I didn't. Well, I actually am. I am in the process of still paying that fine. It's supposed to be $500.
You ever heard
but
the
I only
quote?
paid them $250, but that's leading into the conversation of New Mexico.
Have you ever heard the quote that if the repercussion for breaking a law is a fine, then it's only against the law for black people?
I mean,
Because that's what the guy's trying to say is like you're essentially attacking a certain demographic.
it was what it was, man. Because like, what's up, Friday? It was another professional boxer that was more.
Can I tell you something, Montrel? Forgive me for interrupting.
Go ahead.
I've never had to take a weed test, a drug test, nothing.
No, I believe you.
Now, here's the thing: have I ever smelled like weed? Have I ever done that? And by the way, I don't smoke weed. I don't. That's just not my thing. I like alcohol. I like whiskey. Right. But what I'm trying to say is, you're telling me you're getting tested for all these things. I've never been tested for any of these things.
I believe you. Now, when it comes to that, man, look, I pee everything. I tell them off the rip. I can show you an email right now. I just got a letter from New York State Athletic Commission telling me I just tested positive for marijuana, and he just sent me a warning letter. But yeah, I didn't compete for you. But yet, since I'm a licensee, that doesn't make
every
fucking
state.
That's the stupidest shit.
No,
how you gonna?
No, that does make sense though. Can I be
Bro,
honest with you? Because every state has its own.
I'm gonna break it down to you even
Okay.
more. Even if I am a licensee, like I just had this problem in New Mexico. Like I said, I'm trying to explain it to you. Now I had a promoter in New Mexico that they basically paid the fine of my new my Texas situation.
Cool.
Bring me to New Mexico to fight in the main event, just in all to try to drug test me again and fuck me out of money and fuck me out of the opportunity to be able to fight again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't fight for him. But when I found out what I found out, he got mad. One, you pick me up from the airport. This is Thanksgiving weekend. You pick me up from the airport. Pick me up, take me to a dispensary. Yeah, he picked me up.
The promotion?
The actual matchmaker picked me up from the airport, take me straight to a dispensary. Take me to a dispensary, take me straight to the hotel room.
You up.
Yeah, take me straight to the hotel room. While we checking in, oh yeah, Montrel, just make sure you don't indulge in too much of your marijuana, because they will drug test you. Now, in certain states, they will drug test you, but you just can't come in over a certain amount of level.
Can I steel man that a little bit?
Go ahead.
What if the promoter was trying to be hospitable? He understood that you partook of certain things, took you in order to seem friendly. Hey, buddy, appreciate you for taking this fight. I'm going to treat you out to a little bit. Enjoy if you want. But then gave you the warning, hey, just so you know, they're going to drug test you, so maybe take this with you and don't do this right now. What would you respond if someone said that?
I didn't say shit to his ass. That's exactly how it went. Exactly how it went. I didn't say shit to him. My team, the person I was with at the time, she said something to him. I didn't have shit to say because one, I'm hungry. Two, it's Thanksgiving weekend. Three, I'm not able to eat and spend time with my family. They're the ones that I called family at the time. So you playing with me right now after I already established everything I established with you before we got here. You know what I'm saying? I told you I smoke weed. I told you all these things. You thought I was gonna stop on the way here? You just took me to a dispensary, fucker.
Yeah, you're setting me up.
So basically, we hit him with the okie doke back. So I didn't fight. He told me, the commissioner came to me and told me, like, yo, don't pee until after your fight. You have to take a piss test. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not fighting for you guys then, because that wasn't told to me. And it's an obligation because I was the main event. Anyone that's fighting the main event in New Mexico, they're obligated to fucking
take a drug test after the fight.
Yep. Co-main and main event.
But not a performance-enhancing drug test.
Overall,
no, because
I know it's a difference, but like
because peeing in a cup and taking blood work are two completely different things.
Yeah, it's a difference, but like at the same time, it should be two in the same thing because I tell them the same shit. Because I'm like, you gonna test me for weed, you gonna test me for cocaine, you gonna test me for all these shit. Don't be trying to test me for just one thing and then try to penalize me for it.
Yeah.
And then not show me everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's my status on everything else? That doesn't sound
clean fighter, but he smokes weed.
You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, that doesn't make sense to me.
By the way, go to any jiu-jitsu gym. Drug test those guys. See how many of them don't pop.
That's drug test half the jiu-jitsu competition.
Not even jiu-jitsu.
That's kickboxing competition.
It's astounding to me how like something can be legally state legal, but then federally
the only
illegal.
motherfuckers that get drug tested are martial artists, boxers, and I believe sometimes kickboxers. That's the championship fights.
No, I mean, listen, there's drug testing for like if you go to get a job, for instance, and like all these. Other things.
Athlete wise.
I'm with you.
Athlete wise, that's the only thing. But anything else, nah. Because I didn't see.
Then why do you continue to accept fights from New Mexico now that you know the State Athletic Commission works?
No.
Cool. Let the market dictate.
Let them do their thing, man. Honestly, hey, love the Jackson Wink gym. I just it was more hyped up than what I thought it was.
Well, can I tell you something that I told Evan Elder and some other UFC fighters? There was a time where Evan and some of these guys wanted to switch gyms and go down to Kill Cliff, which at the time was called Sanford MMA or whatever.
Yeah, Stanford.
Stanford, yes. No, Sanford, right?
Yeah, Stanford.
Okay. And I told them, I was like, listen, if you're wanting like one-on-one training, you are not going to the gym for that. But if you're going in there to see like real fighters and test yourself and see where the scale is and grow like iron sharpens iron, that is the gym. Because I don't think there's any one gym that has it all. I've been to every gym in St. Louis.
So when I lived in Houston did, or they just established it. But when I went to these gyms, when I plant my seed in these certain cities, that's when I just start accumulating. Like, oh shit, we can actually do some of this shit. But so I lived in New Orleans. New Orleans built a fight team for the Pacific City. The gym I was at, they built a MMA fight team for me and the female that I was with at the time, because they had a pro MMA fighter and a female fighter. So they went off of that. And then they built the fight team around it. But there was a whole sheriff establishment of jiu-jitsu artists and fitness, CrossFit, and they probably did, So basically from there, went from that to Houston. I went to train under crew Bob Perez. That's Derek Lewis and Kevin Holland. Sometimes Kevin Holland's kickboxing striking coach.
I don't know his name off the top of my head.
Who?
The white guy, right?
Yeah, old bald head guy with the little mustache with the little twister.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't know his name off the top of my head.
So basically, but the gym called Main Street. That's why I was training. I'm pretty established down there. I'm like legit like how you were at Wolves then. Like you go back there like, hey, motherfucker, type shit. But basically, I went there and learned the program. Like my program was 7 a.m. ground and pound or 7 a.m. Groundwork, cage work, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, jiu-jitsu, then 10 o'clock, MMA practice.
How many years have you been training now?
I've been training since 2013.
No,
I've been training since 2013.
So we're talking about roughly you're coming on your centennial, your first 10 years.
I've only been training martial arts overall. I've been training fighting in general, boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu. I'm a blue belt in since 2013.
That's funny. I'm still a white belt.
Man, it took me hella to even become a blue belt, bro. But since 2013, I've been fighting. Oh, I've been training.
Right now, you're training at St. Charles, or where are you training now?
I'm training at St. Charles MMA.
With Mike Rogers
and them. Cherokee Recreational Boxing Gym in the city. I
think I saw that you were training with like some of the kids. I saw your Instagram story. You were basically saying like,
yeah. Just
Can I say something about you? I hope you don't take this as an insult.
Right, do your thing.
You might try to portray yourself as like this quote unquote too cold, but you're
real true.
You got. Have you ever watched Shrek? Like, ogres have layers, onions have layers. Montrel has layers.
Yeah, I do have layers.
Got some sentimental. I'm not saying you're soft, but what I am saying is there's a part to you.
I'm real cool, bro. Like, man, I'm real chill, bro. Like, that's why I be trying to figure out. Like, I be having so many people that tell me, like, oh, you need a fight team, or oh, you need a manager, or oh, you need this.
What does that mean when you say fight team?
Like a representation of squad behind me. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I can't make another grown individual do nothing that they don't see already to do.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see there's a mess on this table, I should be able to clean that mess up. Now, the only difference is this my establishment to the point where, well, even still, like, shit, I should be able to clean this shit up. Like, if I knock this over, I should be able to straighten that up for you. You feel me? Like, it's common sense. It's common courtesy, you know? But, like, when it comes to fighting, it's just like, I don't know. It's just I feel like certain people have a hidden agenda, so that's the reason why they don't want to mess with me. They know they can't pull no wool over my eyes. They can't pull no fast ones over me, you know. And it's not like I'm not. And even with that saying, even me saying it that way, I'm I'm not allowing you to do it, but I'm willing to allow you to help me. And I'm willing to lower my status or lower my defense to allow you to come inside to assist me to better myself.
When you say lower yourself, do you mean like lower your barriers?
Whatever people be saying, bro, because there's so many weird aspect. There's so many weird perspectives on how I look at shit in
Well,
life.
let me explain to you the difference, right? When you say lower yourself, it's like you're bringing yourself down to someone's level. It's
No,
like a
understood.
negative connotation. But lower the barriers means, hey, I've been fucked in my life.
We could use them word. We could use that word, but like for the simple minded motherfucker, that word.
Gotcha.
You know
Okay. So I think I understand what you're saying. You're basically saying, yo, I got some
Yeah.
I got some barriers, been fucked over in my time, and I it takes a lot for me to trust people.
I listen. No, it don't. Man, bro, I'm
Trust, not like or accept. Trust.
I respect people.
But that's not trust.
No, hold on. I respect you overall. I've been saying this since I'm homeless. I respect any and everybody, but it's up to you to build your trust.
I agree.
I respect you.
I agree. Respect comes before trust.
But it's up to you to build your trust. If I can't trust you, that's on you. That's on you. Not me.
I agree.
That's not me.
So, is it safe to assume that, like, maybe I'm making an assumption here, but you trust Mike Rogers because you're training at St. Charles MMA? Would that be safe to assume?
I'm gonna say I trust Mike Rogers because Mike Rogers talks shit to my face. Mike Rogers talk big shit to my face. I fuck with Mike Rogers. I love Mike Rogers.
He's one of the.
I love Mike Rogers.
He's one of the.
Mike Rogers is legit, and I've been preaching this to motherfuckers like the same athletes that have been a part of him that are black or whatever like that. And I've seen them try to play that. Oh well, he wanted to. I don't know their particular stories, but at the end of the day, I know that man haven't done that to me. And I can't speak for nobody else. He only offered you a choice and a chance. And you chose what you chose.
Brother, I cannot agree more. I have nothing bad to say about Mike Rogers. He's just, is he different from me in certain aspects of life? Of course. We're not all the same. But do I respect that? Do I trust that man? I do. I do.
Look, I trust him as much as he trusts me. Because you want to know why? He allowed me to come in his establishment and do what I do.
Yeah.
And represent his gym like I represent his gym.
And throw his name on you, and you throw your name on him.
I represent him. I like how he allowed me to represent him.
So, if you don't mind me asking, Cage of Honor champion, you're coming back to not St. Charles, forgive me, St. Louis to fight for Shamrock FC. Do you know your opponent by any chance, or
I do? I'm just not telling nobody until they drop that fly.
That's fair. So you do know your opponent, local or
Out of state.
Out of state. Okay, good. Thank God. That's one of the things I want to see promotions do a little bit more is like actually like promote the local guys.
If they got money for that, then they should got money for me. That's all I'm gonna say for that part. And that's all I'm gonna say. I know how much it costs to get me out of town. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's a competition. It's gonna be. I'm gonna say it's a wrestler.
Doesn't shock me.
It's a wrestler, three-time national state wrestler.
Oh, national state wrestler? You mean NCAA?
Yeah, I believe so. 3-time.
Oh shit, that's a tough fight, brother. He said, "Sign me up."
I'm with the shit. I'm with the shit. Like I said, Hall of Fame.
Dude, I can appreciate and respect that.
I just hope I could get as many people as I can to come out to support me at that Murray Star for the event. I've been following here in St. Louis.
What's the date?
September 7th.
We'll be there for that one.
Man, I'm gonna show out for sure. But this belt, I would defend that probably in November. I had some people in mind, but the promotion and me were discussing. I actually want to go up to 185 and fight for the 85 title of Cage of Honor because the guy who owns it, he called me out that same night I won the title, not knowing that I am a resident of Missouri. But he assumed that since at the time was out in Houston or Texas, that
you were a local.
Yeah. So I told him, like, bro, me personally as a businessman, as outside of me being a fighter, you can't get this until you beat someone at 170. Then come see me. because you lost to the dude who was originally.
He wanted to challenge you for the 170 belt,
Man,
but he had never fought 170
dude,
before.
No, he fought 170. The dude I beat at 170, he lost to.
Oh,
So I make that.
We'll challenge him for his belt.
Do that math. Like, I'm like, all right, since you won that, no, let me fight you for yours.
185.
And
I'll bump up.
You feel what I'm saying?
I actually do. It makes sense. You lost to the guy that you beat. Sorry, he lost to the guy that you beat. Then he wants to challenge you. It doesn't work that way. I beat the guy that beat you. I challenge you for your belt at 185. Makes complete sense to me.
Message.
We'll clip it. We'll clip it.
Message. But like, you know what I'm saying, that's real game. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're not finna well, it's always business. There's always stuff that can make sense, but at the same time that doesn't make sense to me. I feel if I understand that he's been a part of the establishment, the promotion, but at the same time, no, he lost. Yeah. No, he should be able to fight up and his belt, defend his belt, and whatever. But in the other news on that, like, I had another challenger from another local gym. He offered a fight challenge, but I still feel as though he should. This gentleman is by the name of Mop. You
talking about Andrew Evers?
Yeah, I believe he should allow this fight. If he want to fight me, you should fight me on Nemesis.
Wait. Mop challenged you to a fight?
Yes, he did.
MMA?
Yes, he did. He challenged me for my title. He hit up Mike Rogers himself. Or hit up.
He said, I want to fight Montrel for his Cage of Honors belt.
I can show you the message right now.
I'm not doubting you.
I can show you the message that Mike Rogers texted me early in the morning like, yo, Montrel, Mop wants to fight you. And I'm like, okay, what's up?
So how does that belt work? Do you have to fight for Cage of Honors?
No, I have to fight for Cage of Honors. So
yeah, you can't defend the Cage of Honors belt at another promotion. That makes sense.
I told, like I said, like another business aspect of what outside of this lane. If you want me to fight, if you want to fight me, and you are what you are, since you are the big win right now, fight me in St. Louis on Nemesis, since that's your established promotion that you're affiliated with. While go out of state and fight for some stuff that you... Can I
elaborate this real quick? So Mop wanted to fight you for the Cage of Honors belt locally, but you're like, yo, listen.
No. He wanted to fight for the Cage of Honor belt in Cape.
Forgive me.
You good.
The Cage of Honors belt.
That's my fault. That's why.
No, sorry. But you were like, yo, listen, like, if you want to fight, let's fucking fight. But, like, I'm not fighting you at the Nemesis show for the Cage of Honor belt.
No.
I'm going to fight you.
My apologies again. So I explained, we never spoke. I actually spoke to Mike Rogers, but these are all thoughts, so I apologize. So my thought process of those things was, if he want to fight me for this, it's got to, clearly me and the promotion spoke, but we're not going to fight I'm not going to fight Mop for the belt at all. I'm going to say that now. You're not going to fight for the belt, Mop. So.
Why? Because they don't want.
Me personally don't feel like he should just easy way on up to the Holy Grail. Fight somebody. Fight the dude at 85 that just challenged me. Then we can make some shit shake. You know what I'm saying? But until then, fight. If you want to fight for the belt, fight the dude that said he want to fight me for the belt for 70. And I just thought of that.
I can understand where you're like, why are we going to Houston to fight when we can fight in our own backyard? I can understand
not even that. So this Cage of Honors in Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Yes.
So basically,
that's not our backyard.
Yeah, I mean
it's a 2-hour drive.
Yeah,
I mean, fair. It's a drive. Sorry.
Basically, like, I feel as though, like, shoot, you the big honcho. Let's fight at the Armory. Let's fight at the Nemesis. You the king of Ballpark Village.
Have you told Nemesis this?
No, they don't mess with me.
Why?
I'm a real nigga.
Oh my god!
I'm a real one. I'm a real one. I'm a real one, bro.
You don't think Nemesis messes with real ones?
Nah, bro. Look, they kicked me out the last show, bro. I can.
Were you in the crowd?
Bro, I went. Bro, look, I can't. All right, so I had a confrontation. All right, so me and Sean got into it.
Woodson?
Sean Woodson got into it when the UFC came into the loop. So he went to a dispensary. Yeah, he went to a dispensary. I don't give a fuck. He went to a fucking dispensary that's downtown across the street from the soccer stadium. Now, me and the dispensary are real cool with each other. Now, his dumb ass went in there, and the guy that was an MMA fan just briefly said, hey, bro, do you know a guy by the name of Two Code? And so, ironically, he knew me. But the fact that you downplaying me at the same time, not knowing that one of the customers... When you say
downplaying me, what do you
talking
mean?
bad on me, like talking down, like trying to degrade me, or just trying to talk...
To this random guy?
To this random person, and not knowing that a customer that's in the store heard him and not knowing that the customer know me too. And they called me and was like, yo, there's a guy in here. And the way he described him, like, I know. When he described him to me, I'm like, tall, light-skinned, big-ass head.
Can
He
I?
said,
Oh
yeah.
my God! Can I say something? None of this sounds like Sean Woodson to me.
But it was.
No, I'm not talking about like the description.
My bad. Let me break down what he said so you can understand.
I meant
this
more
is Sean
like
Woodson.
every interaction I've had with Sean. And don't get me wrong.
Good.
When I left the Wolves Den, I don't want to say that me and Sean were like at odds, but like we weren't necessarily quote unquote on the same team. Does that make sense? Ben Lawler and the Tom James family will ensure that whether you're purchasing your first custom fit suit or your 50th, the process is unrivaled. With the experience and quality of the Tom James name, allow Ben Lawler to help shape the vision that is your professional brand with a suit that speaks to the conviction in their craft. With fabric sourced here in the US, you'll know quality and craftsmanship are top of class. Like a sculptor examines wet clay before creating a masterpiece, Ben Lawler will walk you through the process of selection, measuring, and stitching to ensure your finished product is a work of art. Putting your trust in Ben is a guarantee that your brand will elevate to the next level. And always remember, you don't get a second chance at a first impression. Sorry, I have a small bladder.
No, you good player, man.
So we were talking about NFA. You had an altercation with Sean Woodson. I asked you what was going on with Sean Woodson because I thought you guys were cool from back in the day from
MCS type shit.
Yeah, you know.
So honestly, like me and from what I understand, we go back to high school, but like not even far. Like I was equating with him in high school. Like I knew of him in high school, but
Yeah.
I never was like cool with him in high school. I knew they came to me for like, yo, where the parties at? Or like I used to be a club promoter, and I used to go high school parties at that time, or college parties, etc. But then like life happened. He used to always hit me up because we both trained under Jermaine Andre for a little minute. Jermaine had a gym at Jamestown Mall, and he used to ask me to come train with him. And he used to use me as a sparring partner at the time. And that's how we kind of acquainted each other even more. And then from there, he started messing with Jared. And
Jared Daniels block at MCS.
Shout out MCS. Started messing with him even more, and then we kind of off and on train, but he never really worked with me. He worked with like Hugh or other established athletes that I was still working off and on.
To get yourself up to that level.
Yeah, to his level.
Because you were an amateur at the time,
yeah,
building up.
So basically from there, life happened, and then, something happened to the point where Mob, Drew, him established whatever relationship they established and opened up Wolves Den. Now, I was supposed to work out there because I went out there a few times, but I was just not able to commit to that commute to go out to Wolves Den where they was really established that. So from there, it was what it was. But to fast forward to where it was now, basically this year, he had basically went to a dispensary. Someone that was in the store overheard him talking about me, basically was just saying, yeah, he just needed it. It wasn't as bad, but like from someone to just say it that way, you should have just kept it at that. Ain't my focus right now. I'm focused on this victory this weekend. That's not my worry.
I guess what I'm trying to say, Montrel, is I from everything that I know about Sean Woodson, I haven't heard him say a bad thing about. And
no, he don't.
This is years.
I'm gonna explain it to you. Okay. I promise you, he don't.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe. I know.
I just never heard it.
I know the street people he fuck with, but at the same time, or the socialization of the streets he fucks with, but at the same time, he knows the code. The fact that you going somewhere to even say something like that, like basically from what he said was, yeah, I know of him. He need to work on his record a little bit more, which is truth to it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he said when I hit him up. I'm like, yo, did you say this? Da, da, da. He said, I don't have to lie about nothing. That's the truth. And I'm like, all right, if that's the case, bro, I thought we was better than that. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you said it the way you said it.
Meaning you would have approved of him like just saying, I know Montrel James.
Yeah, I would have
then leave it at that.
And left it
Not
at that.
necessarily
like,
bringing
my focus right now. I got to fight this weekend. You gonna come out and buy a ticket? That's what I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not here to talk about another man. I'm here to buy some tree. Where you not even supposed to be in the fucking dispensary? You just came from press conference, but you at a dispensary after press conference, and then you up in there talking shit, and then you expect me not to know? Oops, your fault. The streets talk. They called me up. Someone called me up, and they were like, "Yo, there's a guy up here." Like I said before, it It was a tall, light-skinned dude, big head.
Come on.
I'm not bullshit. This is what the nigga said to me, bro. He said, dog, the dude light-skinned. He real tall. He got a big-ass head. And then I pulled up a picture of Sean and I sent him a picture of him. And he like, yeah, that's him.
That's the guy.
And then I was like, I bet. And I wrote him. I instantly wrote him. And I was like, yo, what we doing here? He was like, shit, man, what you talking about? I'm like, bro, I'm hearing you talking down about me. He was like, because in my mind, the reason why I'm even hitting you up, because, like, I know we fuck with each other. Why are you even talking about me, bro? Yeah. And why you even, in that mindset, if you didn't fuck with me.
Well, okay. Why are you even talking about me is because the guy asked, but what you're specifically saying is, why are you bringing up negative aspects of it?
Basically. And in that matter, if I'm any negative for how you say it is, why are you watching me? Why are you following me? Why are you looking at my stories?
Well, maybe he cares about you.
No, bro. Like I said, why are you watching me? Why are you on my stories?
But do you not think that there's a part of him that cares?
As fighters, as an athlete, we know how the game go. And that's all I'm going to say. Like, I can't, like, I'm not going to say, like, he didn't care. I'm not going to say he do care. I'm not going to say I don't know what the man, I can't speak for the man. But at the same time, what I understand, when I used to write him and ask him all the time, like, bro, you can even write him whenever you get time. I'm like, bro, let me get a bag, or let me get a UFC hat, or let me get some. Oh, somebody already got it. I bet. Respectfully, because I'm not training at that gym to go get that shit. I'm not training at the gym to just asking for that shit randomly. You know what I'm saying? So I randomly hitting you up online, even though I know I have a understanding to write you and DM you and be like, yo, bro, like I wrote Sean, I'll be writing, like I said, bro, I used to have connections with a lot of celebrities. Sean O'Malley, the homeboy, Kimbo Slice, Dada 5000. Like, bro, I can reach out to these people on Instagram and talk to these people. Like,
rest in peace, Kimbo.
You feel me? So, like, it's so many things, bro. Like, right.
But let me, because I want to make sure, like, I've agreed with a lot of what you were saying up until now, okay? But let me offer you this different perspective.
Do your thing.
Imagine Sean Woodson, for instance. Sean Woodson goes for a fight, gets, like, the UFC swag. Could you imagine how many people are hitting him up?
That's what I'm saying. So, like,
okay.
I'm not against that because...
I thought you were holding it against him. Forgive me.
No, I'm not against that because, like, I'd be a lame man, sour puss ass
nigga. Okay, cool. There's no sour grapes. It's like, hey, I reached out.
No, like, I know you my partner. Like, that's the streets. You know what I'm saying? That's the street code. Like, I know you fuck with me because you wouldn't even be talking to me.
Yeah, okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
I do.
You fuck with me. I know you fuck with me. But how you doing that, it's not cool. Like how he did that with the situation of when the UFC was here, that just wasn't cool. And I addressed it as a man to him and just came to him as a man like, yo, that's not cool. And the way he responded is what made me go the way I went, which led Drew and Mop Ass to talk shit to me in their own way. But it was Drew at the time, and I popped my shit at him. Little freaky 69 guy.
Whoa. Come on.
I'm sorry.
You can say what you want to say. I told you this before. You can say what you want to say. I'm not gonna censor anybody, but we can't attack. You feel me?
Ooh.
We can't attack.
Give you that one.
Because they're not here to defend themselves. And if, by the way, if the roles were reversed, if Drew is on the podcast one day and he wants to talk shit about you, I won't let him either. You feel me?
Say less.
I'm all about reciprocation. So, okay.
Now better hit me up and talk about me.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, let me ask you this question then. Outside of this one interaction that Sean Woodson had with this one guy that then later got brought to you.
Man. I know you're a good guy.
Don't you think that's kind of crazy that you let that one interaction?
No.
No?
No, because it's the same with me. Like, well, all of a sudden, like, if that's the case, why everyone not seeing me to be the good athlete that I'm trying to be? I'm trying to change. I'm trying to have a team. I'm trying to have.
Meaning they're holding previous things back to the current you.
You feel me? That's why I say I don't believe in like, and it goes to relationship shit, because if I separate from a person, why do I have to come back to? Why do I have to separate from you to make something work? We should be able to stay together and make some shit work.
While I agree, I could also turn that back around on you though, because in the same aspect of that, you don't want to be.
Say what you gotta say, bro.
No, I'm trying to find the words that I want to use. Like, in the same aspect that you're trying to kind of create this pivot in your career, right? And you don't want to necessarily be weighed down by the previous things that have happened to you. Couldn't you say the same thing about Sean? Let's just say that Sean comes to you and says, "Hey, man, yeah, it probably wasn't that cool of me to say that." Would you hold it against him?
But that's the reason why I came to him as a man that way I did, because we could have hashed it away before I went all the way into saying the hateful, the little slander, little things I just said about Drew and Mop. Because I came to him and said what I said. Well, honestly, before me and Sean got into it, when I left St. Louis, I got into it with a majority of the guys, the amateurs at Wolves Den. They don't even compete no fucking more. Like, I got into it with them because they don't understand the proper brotherhood of a fight gym. Because you, Drew, Mop, all them guys, y'all established brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Y'all established brotherhood. Y'all established that y'all established how to be friends. Y'all established how to be under each other and know the fight game to get the business. But
I gotta counter that slightly. I'll tell you why. There was a moment.
Well, from my perspective, my apologies. From what I seen, I never knew y'all personally. I never knew y'all.
Remember when you said that
y'all dressed it up nicely?
Well, no, I mean, listen. Can I be honest with you?
Go ahead,
I have no hate for anybody on this planet.
Understood.
You know what I mean? And if someone's willing to give respect to me and treat me a certain way, I will always reciprocate. Look at you. Like, have we ever had an interaction before this podcast? Have you and I ever spoken in public?
That's why I just said what I said. That's why from what I seen you guys doing, man, everything to me, I'm a righteous man, bro. I believe in spirituality. I believe in Baptists. I believe in Muslims sometimes, but like I believe in just common sense ass shit in life. But like at the same time, I seen you guys do stuff where it's common sense to. If I want to be like how you are dressed up like that, shit, it's something that he's doing that I need to do in my fucking life.
Well, it's more like I want to give perspective on my own relationship with them. When you said that you couldn't go to the Wolves then because of the logistical hurdles, like, hey man, I can't make this commute.
Drive.
Yeah, the commute, logistical. No, you're fine, brother. Trust me, you're fine. It's the drive. You want to know why I left the Wolves then? I lived in Chesterfield and then I moved to South City. I moved to like Melville area, and I had to have the awkward conversation with them. It's like, listen, I love you guys. I love Drew. I love Mop. I love Sean Woodson and all the other guys that I trained with. But I'm not making an hour and 30-minute drive one way to train for 2 hours to make an hour and 30-minute drive back. And by the way, this is back when, like, you know, don't look at me now. Like, back then, I didn't have the money. Like, gas money actually fucking mattered.
Bro, like I said, I knew. That's why I'm glad that's why I say bring a real nigga on.
Yeah.
Because I know, bro. You ain't gotta explain nothing to me because I seen. Like I said, y'all made it look so clean.
Well,
I knew who was who and what was what. I've been to Watson's. I've been to St. Charles. I've been to and look, these gyms. These is all gyms that I cross trained at. I was training from a motherfucking MCS at Jerry's gym. This is whenever the gyms, he either talked to these gyms or these gym owners talk to me and like, yo, come through and just work out for a little minute with us. You know? So when I seen guys like yourself or anyone else, clearly I know y'all got an everyday struggle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So
clearly.
It was just the timing of it. Like, and I don't want to say we had a falling out because we didn't have a falling out.
There's a misunderstanding of this discrepancy.
Let me put it to you this way. If anyone should have a problem with me, truly have a problem with me, it should be Mike Rogers. Because Mike Rogers took me in when I had nothing. Dude, I was a college kid, broke as a joke. I couldn't rub 2 pennies to my name. I could barely afford the gas to get to the gym, right?
That's the majority of everybody. That's Tyrone Woodley. That's a few people I can name. When I
left St. Charles and May for Wolves Den, there was a part of me, even then, that felt bad about it because I knew how good Mike did me. And I'm 31 years old, and that happened when I was 22. And I still, like, remember those emotions. But when you say, like, there's, like, a brotherhood between me and Drew and Mop, I'm going to tell...
You want to know something? I apologize.
Go ahead, no.
You know right now, these fools at St. Charles MMA are beefing with this fool, Josh Argenstein.
I saw that.
That's the prime fucking example I'm talking about.
I saw that.
That's the prime fucking example I'm talking about. Why?
I
Why?
I have to listen.
You established yourself at this gym. You clearly saying this. You could.
Well, then you and Sean Woodson agree. You and Sean Woodson agree.
I didn't even hear half the whole conversation of the whole thing.
With him and Kirk.
Yeah, I didn't even hear it all. I know. I'm talking about the whole interview that he just did with the other podcast show, bro, with Mr. Danny.
Yeah, Danny. Yeah.
Man, look, bro, look. Only thing I can say with him, bro, you got St. Charles tatted on your leg,
dude. I want to be very.
That's just like saying you caught AIDS from a bitch and then you ain't fucking her no more. What? Like, you my dude, but my dude, bro, you can't leave from here. Like, bro, I went to Houston and I did my thing in Houston, bro. But I ain't never finna disown the fucking spot that I fucking established myself at. That's stupid. That's ass backwards, bro. That means you choosing to fuck up your home. You choosing to fuck up where you lay your head at, bro.
Dude, you're putting me in a tough spot because off camera, we
they
can have a conversation about that.
You know they want me to fight him.
Josh?
Yes.
I think that's a good fight for you.
I think it's a good fight too. But I want it to happen after this fight. Because you want to know why? Shamrock. Why not?
Yeah.
Let me finish the one that you giving me and then finish the Holy Grail.
I'm with you. Let me finish one thing. Let me get to that because that's a good topic. In my career, I jumped gyms just like you, right?
That's not a thing about it. I don't even jump gym.
It's not that I jumped gyms, Montrel.
You just got that much respect to be offered to come to train at these gyms.
I was enticed at a young age with, Drew was my boy. Mop was like, hey, you can come in here and be a coach as well, and that'll pay for the gym fees. And there were a lot of things that at the time, it's timing, variables, it made sense,
Great
right?
opportunity at the time.
And can I be honest with you? Like, I'm truly blessed with, I know Jared, and me and Jared have a great relationship. I know Mike, and me and Mike have a great relationship. I know Mop, and me and Mop have a great relationship. Even though in the chasm of life, there were at times where we were at odds, and there were times where we were together. This is why I bring up the Sean thing again. If there was a time where you and Sean were together, and right now you are at odds, all I'm saying is never burn a bridge because you never know in the future when you guys might be together again. Man, look, I can only tell you from personal experience.
He's a person that's at 45. 9 times out of 10, he gonna bring his ass up to like 55.
Come on, we're not talking about fighting.
He gonna bring himself up to 55 or 70 one day. He's not gonna stay at 45 forever. You already heard the conversation. You already know the conversation that they have with him in his weight class because of this off his.
But Montrel, I'm not
tripping off of it, but like it's just. Like,
do you want to fight him?
I'm not fighting. I'm not.
Okay.
I don't want to fight him, but at the same time, as men, as where we came from and where we come from, I know there was a better way you could have done it. That because like me personally, I came to you as a man before I went to the internet. I came to him and asked him like, bro, what's up?
But.
That's just being real. Like, come on now.
I'm with you.
You can't say I'm wrong for it because like before I put it out on blast. All like this. If I would never talk to him and never asked him, got my actual perspective of how he really looked at that, we wouldn't be talking about this.
Let me ask you another question. On that then. Had they never messaged you, you would have never said anything. Why are you putting so much emphasis on this one interaction?
No, for the fact that someone had to go out their day and call me.
You. Made you feel some type of way.
That's bro. How would you feel if your wife stopped what she was doing and she called you and like, yo, baby, someone talking about you, and you were like, who?
Montrel, do you know how many people talk shit about me?
Some legit guy you used to train with though.
Montrel.
All right, my bad.
I'm with you.
I understand.
It's happened.
I understand. It's certain levels to certain shit, but at the same time, bro, coming from where I come from. When I look at certain people that assist me, like how you saying the brotherhood with you and Drew and Mop, like come on, man. I understand that y'all have off and on days, but like y'all made I know.
Well, I wouldn't say there's a brotherhood. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I don't even.
I'm sure Mop and Drew have a brotherhood.
Yeah, I really they do.
I'm sure they have a brotherhood. But if you're asking me because I don't have. They are friends of mine. I respect them. They respect me. We are friends.
I'm on camera saying this. What he said.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so like I'm just.
I wish I had
these mouth because they know what's up though.
But I wish I had these kinds of relationships with these kind of people. The truth be told, Montrel, I don't have like a quote unquote brotherhood with anybody. To be honest with you,
you're a wolf. At the end of the day, I don't care.
But that same logic, I trained at MCS for a week. Does that make me an MCS guy?
No. You're officially a wolf. I know you're officially a wolf because a wolf then.
Wolves Den guy. Yeah, Why am I officially a Wolves Den guy?
Because when they established themselves, you're one of their faces. You're one of those belts. When they were coming up, bro. Your belt is on that wall. I know.
Are they still?
Really? I don't know about the new gym, but the old gym, yeah. Like I took pictures underneath those belts. Like, at the end of the day, like I said, I done my homework as an athlete to know what I'm talking about, and as a person us as podcasters or people that's dealing with analysts, or if you want to say it that way, or people that
The
journalists
media.
or the
The media.
like I do my homework, bro. And then for me to match my own homework, like match my own fights, I do my homework. I don't want no one to think I don't. I don't want anyone to think I'm like any less of sharp. Like, trust me, I've been following those who, and then on top of it, you popping your own, your own lane, you was in your own lane. That's why when I seen the show, I'm like, bro, me on this bitch, bring your real one on,
I appreciate you.
real one on, bro, because like for real, like it's simple math. That's what I would call it.
Well, it's good
math.
business. I can understand that. But let me end this topic, and I want to move on to the Josh Augustine. I will say this: there are very few men in this game that I have literally nothing bad to say about. Nothing bad to say about. Fighters, not necessarily coaches. I have nothing bad to say about any coaches. I have nothing bad to say about Sean Woodson or Evan Elder. Now, the Josh Augustine thing, I'm going to be honest with you. I've kind of been out of the loop with a lot of these things. And can I be frank? I've actually felt like good vibes from everybody, like from St. Charles MMA to Wolves Den to MCS and all these. I'm trying to get Jared Daniels Block on the podcast as well because I want to talk to all the coaches as well. You know what I mean?
I'm bringing a little big ass.
It's been good vibes, to be completely honest with you. When I saw that shit on
Bro, I just seen this shit though. So like, so look, so this is what it was. So it's been like this since I've been back in St. Louis since December of last year. And no one really didn't know I was back home for I just been making it seem like I'm out of state still. But I've been here training, I just been doing my thing or whatever. But they try to I'm gonna just say someone at the gym try to offer me to fight Josh. No, I got offered
at St. Charles MMA.
Yeah, matter of fact, I got offered to fight Josh for Shamrock before I came back home, and then I came back home. Then they was trying to ease it on me, like, "Oh well, you should fight Josh." I'm like, "No," excuse me. I'm like, I thought he was a part of St. Charles MMA,
and you thought it was like a same gym. Like,
yeah,
I don't
so
fight
like,
with my training partners.
So I left it like, no, I would know because like I know for a fact that we are not affiliated with Couture at all. Now I don't know what Mike has with Couture, but
I don't think anything.
I don't think it's anything right now. So and if it was, he shouldn't be acting out of pocket like he is. You feel what I'm saying?
I think it's insane.
That's why I'm just getting
I thought I was bad because I left the gym, but I never badmouthed the gym. That's insanity to me.
The badmouthing came about now. Anything else is just was personal shit. These are personal relationships where I found out where I'm thinking like, oh well, all right. If that's the case, where I'm thinking about it, motherfucker, that sound like you and him problem, not a whole gym
Between
problem.
you and him, you mean
That
Josh
sound like-
Augustine and Kirk Huff?
No, like Kirk, I don't really know what the beef between him and Kirk. I don't know shit about that, bro. Excuse my language.
No, you're
but like,
fine,
I'm
dude.
saying it in a manner of like, I know certain other guys in the gym. I'm not gonna say
That have
names
beef with
specifically.
Josh.
They have to have personal some type of animosity amongst each other because it's like, why now? Like, I remember the first time I met Josh. He told me he remembered me from me knocking out a guy from Kansas City in 45 seconds and submitting him. He said, "You that one guy that knocked out Mikey England." Yes, I am. And every day that he seen me, he put nothing but aggression towards me. Like, as in, like, he worked hard. Like, he knew that I was a challenge. He
like
knew I was an issue.
competitive,
Yeah,
competitive
he
with
knew.
you.
But like
Same weight class, right?
I believe so, 170. But like I think he fought at 155.
I don't think he fights at 71, 170
Oh, he
anymore.
fought at 180.
I think
I heard
I think he fights.
weight.
I think he fights at 45 or tries to fight. Can I say
I heard
something?
he missed weight just this past fight.
You know what? This is my podcast, so I'm going to break this rule.
You can say
Because
what you want to say, shit.
no, I'm going to break this rule because at the end of the day, I'm willing to have him on the podcast. I have zero respect for any fighter that has ever used performance-enhancing drugs.
Oh, that's what he did?
I don't know what anyone on this planet has done because I was not there to observe it. All I know is people that I value and respect their opinions have told me things that lead me to believe. Now, what I will say is, between the eye test, what I can visually observe, and what I am hearing from people within, and how his body has morphed, there is no reason for me to doubt these claims. And when someone is willing to do PEDs, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. I have zero respect for you.
I fought Mike Davis, I believe. My bad. I fought
Go ahead. What's up?
Yeah, sorry. So Tapology is saying 155.6
Or
No,
right
because he
now.
just missed weight for a 145-pound
yeah, he's
fight
supposed
in
to have. Yeah,
Canada
that's the
by
one that he.
5 pounds.
That's the one. That's
And
the
he
one
had
she's
the
talking about.
nerve. He had the nerve at that press
That's
conference
the one she's
to
talking
talk
about.
a whole bunch of shit. That was at 155.
No, that's the one she's talking about. He was supposed to have it at 145.
Yeah, yeah, but he was
and
one.
He missed 55.
Well, he was 151. He was 6 pounds or
Well,
5 pounds
yeah,
over.
basically. So
Did-
I didn't never knew about it. I
No.
just that this is where I come into play at
As
now.
I've observed it, he is more than welcome to come on the podcast and prove me wrong. But as I've observed it,
Nah,
he got on that fucking.
You don't need nobody to come on your show to justify the fact that they ain't made.
Well, if I'm
weight.
gonna talk, if I'm gonna say something about this, is the first time in 34 episodes
Bro,
where I'm
you
saying
cut weight. Ain't no reason for you to justify that.
there
You know
is if you
what's
got
up.
PEDs in your system, your endocrine system is fucked, and like,
Well, I don't really know about.
dude, when I saw him
PEDs.
fighting at 170, jacked, and I remember training with
Who
him.
did he fight at 172?
I don't know, nobody's, and he still lost to some of them. But I used to train with Josh back in the day, St. Charles and May. He used to be my off round, and he was a weight class above me. And when I saw him fighting at 170, it blew my fucking mind, Montrel. That's not puberty.
I'm gonna say this. I trained me and this one guy named KJ. I don't know if you know of
KJ Jones?
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, I know him.
Now he knows the story I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna say anything else. So I'm just gonna be discreet on it. We trained with someone before, and we felt like this particular person was on steroids.
On some shit?
Because it's like, how the fuck?
Was he black?
I'm just gonna say.
Did I fight him?
I'm just gonna leave it like that.
Was he black, and did I fight him?
Nope, and no. I know I submitted him in like 15 seconds.
Okay.
But we feel like, that was that. And I felt like it was too, because like I just seen someone that actually react, or his reaction off of the thing. Like when they don't get the reaction that they wanted or the result that they want, they act out like really enraged.
Roid rage?
Yeah, so like, it's certain little things that I know from if people do that shit.
Dude.
Or like outside of the side effects.
Let me tell you this. I'm not a weak guy physically. I'm not, you know what I mean? There have been very few men on this planet my size that make me feel like I'm rolling with Mike Rogers. And only 2 people have made me feel like that, and both of those guys were on roids.
That's why now I haven't worked with no one other than 85ers. Like if I'm getting ready for any fight, I'm working with someone that's way bigger than me. I don't care what it is now, nigga. If you come in heavier than what I feel like it is, it's a problem.
All I know is when I have Tim Lukanoff on, one of the things I want to ask him about is performance-enhancing drugs. Because when you got a guy like Augustine stepping on scale...
Tim gonna break it down for you.
I know, and I understand that, like, as a state, they have limitations, budget funding and all this stuff. I get that. But, like, when you got Augustine coming on the weigh-ins with back knee and, like, he's not passing the eye test, at what point do we all collectively go, what the fuck?
Come on, for Shamrock?
Yeah. Dude, when he's fucking roid raging, screaming, I'm like, dude, you're not 170, yet you are 170. Make this make sense. And that's the problem, right? He wants to now be like legit because he wants to make it to the UFC. And UFC has USADA or whoever the new drug testing commission is. So he knows all this shit needs to leave his system. And now his body is battling the fucking steroids that he pumped in his asshole. So it's like, go fuck yourself. What's he going to do? Fight me?
It makes sense because didn't he come in off of didn't he make a return off of an injury or something like that?
I have no respect for Josh Augustine. I have no respect for Josh Augustine.
Hey, look, like I said, when I first met him, I remember, like I just said, the first thing he ever said to me when I first met him, you that one guy that beat Mikey England.
Hey, he kept an eye on you.
You feel what I'm saying? So ever since then, like and then even still, like he cool, but like I could tell that he was intimidated by my presence of me being black. If that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Explain to me that. Explain that to me.
As in, like, he wanted the swagger, too. Like, I have natural swag. You know what I'm saying? He got swag, too, but, like, to be naturally cool. You know what I mean?
Am I naturally cool?
Yeah, you got the swagger shit.
I appreciate you, brother.
You savvy. I see you.
That's why you on. That's why you on.
Player. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see a real player when I see a real player, but I used to see it, like, you come, like, they're just, like, coming to school and trying to dress up, like, come to gym class and dress up. Like, why you coming to gym to dress?
You think that he is? Do you think he's trying to be something he's not, or do you think he's intimidated by something he's not? Because when you say like
either or, because like shit, me personally as a fighter, like, well, me coming to being a martial artist I am, like, and taking a loss, like I just took a loss in boxing. I say a couple of weeks ago in Atlanta, Georgia. It was like one of my hardest performances, man. And just due to mental toughness, like I wasn't focused at all.
Dude,
And
it's not a question of if, it's a question of when.
right, it was just like I had so many battles with the promotion to personal, where I just got in there and just started going for the win on some dumbass shit and fucked up on my own personal shit. But at the end of the day, it's like when stuff like that happens, man, you need to know how to come back and actually align
I have
or reframe.
I have nothing ill to say about any fighter who's like taken an L and then come back to compete again because
Yeah, I seen the last video where Sean said something about it.
Sean
He
said
was
it
like,
perfectly.
But with the only person that I could take from what he said was Dustin, because Dustin is the only person that's like L after L, 2 championship opportunities. I think he made one, but out of all that, like ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs.
I think it's really easy to ride a wave if you never fall. It's really hard to get back on the board and ride the wave again, right? So like all I'm saying
So
is
that goes back to what we said earlier. Like you can't the person that's been up here, just because you've been up here, like let's say you've been that person that been riding the wave. How you gonna get your ass back on that wave? You ain't never failed. You know what I'm saying? You can ride that wave all you want. You can ride that motherfucker to the wheels fall off. You can ride that motherfucker to the board break. But how you gonna get back on your new board?
that's fair. All I know from this podcast is Josh Augustine is more than welcome to be on this podcast and talk about PED
Man,
usage.
look, all I would say is, Josh, I ain't want this beef, but it is what it is, bro. It is what it is, because, like, apparently the universe been wanting me and you to fight. But, hey, Shamrock, if we can make it happen, we can make it happen. But at the end of the day, it'd probably be at 170 if we fight. And if we fight at 155, shit, just, hey. But at the same time, like, I'm letting you know, Josh, it wasn't me.
Where do you prefer to fight? 70, 85?
I always been telling people as an independent athlete that I am, I want to fight at 170. But if the promotion's treating me well and the organization is treating me properly, I will fight at 155.
Meaning you can make 55, but you're not going to put your... Really?
Yeah, but
how tall are you?
I'm 6'1". But I eat bad. But I eat normal. I have to say that.
I think I understand what you're saying. You're willing to discipline yourself more.
I can definitely discipline myself to cut weight to 170, no problem. That's only 10 pounds. But if I
what do you walk around at?
180.
Yeah, 70 is nothing for you then.
No problem.
Well, you're not like a really fat guy.
I'm real
though.
lean.
Yeah.
I'm real lean. Like I can make.
Honestly, 55 surprises me.
A lot of people assume that I would like the last time I fought at 55 was for Shamrock in 2018 or 20. No, my bad. Excuse my language. Yeah. 2018 in Kansas City, I believe, or something like that. That was the last time I fought for Shamrock at 155. I fought against Ivy Nixon, and I lost to a decision. And I was the co-main event against to Johnny Henney or whatever his name is. That's the PFL Bellator champion right now. He was the main event. I was the co-main.
Can I ask you a question and then I will be done with my portion, and then by all means take over if you want.
Right.
Does it annoy you? I feel like sometimes we as fighters are so worried about a loss because we're worried about how like it'll be perceived by the populace. But I feel like fighters kind of understand losses better than people that have never competed before. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'll use myself as an example. When I got my last loss against Austin Bashi, I was consumed with how will my peers see me? I was pleasantly surprised to realize that the other fighters realized that I was a good fighter and that if this guy beat me, he must be an exceptional fighter, right? But what hurt me was the casual, the person that knew fucking nothing. And I could go 5 years being undefeated, and then the second I lose, I mean, dude, I'll show you some of the messages. It is like some of the most like egregious shit someone can say to another human being. Mind you, these people have never been punched in the face. They have never been in a cage. They have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
So with that, in that example and what you're saying, you already painted a picture where you're perfect. Me, I painted a picture of drawing outside the lines, cuddling inside the picture, all the way over here and all the way over there. So I'm not perfect. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I take a loss, people are like, oh, he gonna get that back, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna beat him again, or I don't trip off what I established myself already where they know I'm a fight. They don't trip off the win or losses no more.
You perform.
They know I'm a legit fighter now. They know that I'm coming to fight. I'm coming to fight. I'm coming to perform. Because that losses and that win shit, that's for pussies. Because you too concerned about something that you shouldn't be concerned about. You should be out here. You should be out here fighting, whooping ass like you say you are.
I wish you were right.
I wish I was too. But
I wish you were right.
I wish I was too, but it's the fact. It's the facts. Because you want to know why I say that? Because if you worried about it, you so worried about it, you taking your focus off the main thing that you should be worrying about is the fight.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But let me counter with this. Where fighters will hear that and agree with you.
I was about to say you finna say that. So you said fighters. Now you gotta speak from the active fighter standpoint.
The promotion, the casual fan. The problem is our resume is our record.
A superstar is a superstar. At the end of the day, it's all on how you choose to. It's all on how you choose to be.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree. I mean, Robbie Lawler is like a prime example. He almost had like a 500 record, and then came back and be the UFC champion. So it's like,
it's all like, bro.
But I will say this: would you agree with this though? A bad record makes it harder.
In a way.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that I just told the Lyft driver that dropped me off. I'm like, bro, what's the difference between the management and the agent? And he said, not really much, nothing. Well, something, but it's not much, nothing. Because me personally, I got people that tell me like, oh, you need to get a 500 win spin, or you need to get your win even out. I'm like, so if I get my win even out, me personally, why the fuck would I need you after that? Because I know how to promote myself. I know how to brand myself. I look at myself like a rapper. Ain't that funny that we talked about that earlier? I look at myself like a rapper. I'm rare. I'm building my content. I'm building my brand. I'm building my music. I'm making my albums. So when a record label or a fight promotion come towards me, I'm already got content. I'm already something that you want. Because why you already could eat off of what I'm doing.
Meaning, if you're only wanting to work with like guys that are established and everything, it's an easy job.
You got guys out here that don't even know how to promote themselves. You got guys out here they can't even talk for themselves.
Brother, most fighters don't know how to promote themselves.
I'm
in talks with promotions.
That's the sad part.
And they show me like ticket sales and all these other things.
They don't even know how to tell a person, hey, would you like to buy a $55 ticket? Which I have a $55 ticket for Shamrock FC September 7th. If y'all want one.
When you click on the website, choose Montrel James.
Or you can be up in person.
Oh, even better.
But you see what I'm saying? You see how that quick promo will happen? You know what I'm saying?
We'll make a clip out of it.
You know what I mean? But like at the same time, people don't know how to do that shit, bro. Like I've been promoting and dealing with business and marketing since I was 17 years old. Now, outside of the other business and marketing I've been learning and seeing, it's just like it's the same aspect. It's a pimping whole scene.
Allegedly.
So, yeah, right. Allegedly. Let them tell it it's not.
There's 3 times I had to save you from yourself.
I'm just saying, bro. Like that's how they treat it, though. Cause it's like when you know your worth and you know what you could do, and they know it. But at the same time, just like, come on, man. Like I'm here to fight, but at the same time, I'm not asking for a lot. But you're not finna play me neither.
I think that it needs to be mutual ground met. And that promotions and fighters need to do a better job of understanding. Fighters need to understand the promotions better, and promotions need to understand the fighters better. You don't agree?
You want to know why?
Why?
Because how am I, if I'm that type of fighter, how am I supposed to understand the promotion if I'm here to just fight? I'm not. You gotta really understand that because I'm not that typical fighter. I can understand fighting. I can understand business. I can understand professionalism. I'm not your typical fighter. You got fighters that only understand, I'm here to punch. I'm here to train. They don't know the business. But you don't think
that's something that they'll grow into? Like I'm not saying for like the
O&O.
O.
That'd be something where they should have did that in the midst.
While I agree, because no one had to teach me this shit, I already
Because you
knew
knew.
it. Yeah.
That's why I said
While
what I
I
said. We
agree,
graduated from elementary school, right?
but
You already knew the business before you jumped your ass into the fighting.
well, I understood that it takes two to tango. Like
You
they need me, but I also need them.
put it like this. You knew the fact that if what you was doing, you needed to make money from it, right?
From fighting?
Either way. Like if you knew
Early
that,
on, correct. Early on, correct.
so if if someone was playing you, you wouldn't have been able to detect that.
Ask Shamrock what negotiations were like for me to
I
get
know.
signed for
I
them.
could bet,
I was a
motherfucker. I know how
motherfucker.
many fucking fights you had.
I was a
I
motherfucker.
seen you was a draw puller. I know what bro, that's what I'm saying. That's why I've been explaining to you. I was never properly given the opportunity to properly sell tickets to even bring in a crowd. They always would hit me with some last minute shit because they knew I would just come in to fight.
Yeah.
But I would never given.
Or they would give you fights for Kansas City, distance.
I was never given the opportunity to become a prize fighter. I had to force myself to become a prize fighter or be this type of fighter. Like I had to force that because it's like one, even with me being the champion right now, I'm still not getting the proper respect. I'm not getting the proper recognition. I'm ranked 20 or 28 in the US right now from Tapology. I'm ranked number 1 in Mississippi. I'm ranked number 3 in Midwest or wherever the hell it is here or whatever the little bull crap it is on Tapology. And even with that, that's confusing because a lot of them say they don't even go off of that shit. But the fact that I'm a champion and the fact that I'm doing what I'm doing as an independent athlete, like I said to you earlier, I want a team of people representing me. I want people to help me, but yet I can't force you to do nothing that you don't want to do. And it's like I bust my ass in the gym. I make weight. I don't. For me to be independent, I make weight. Show me a time when I haven't made weight. That shows a lot of character. That shows a lot of discipline. That shows a lot of professionalism, bro. Like in itself, by myself to bring. Also, which one of your crew members said, I had a female counterpart, a real female counterpart. That I ain't have a coach. I didn't have a striking coach. I didn't have a jiu-jitsu coach. I had a female counterpart to corner me in my fights and majority of my professional career to help me win victories or go into battles and to come out with a unanimous loss or a unanimous decision. You know that takes knowledge. It take a real firm man or a woman that knows what they want and what they're going to do in their career, flat out. Because I could have just had her there, just give me some water, baby. Just say, baby, keep it going. No, like study, help me out. Look at this person, watch this person, see something that I don't see. For first off, keep your composure because you could have fold under pressure. Because a lot of women, I done met women that say, I don't know how I could deal with that. How can you deal with that? There's so much blood and this. 9 times out of 10, it don't even be blood. You know what I'm saying? It just probably be a motherfucker to get their arm broke.
I think being a fighter is tough. I think the vast majority of people could not do it. I think that when you look at an individual that is willing to get into a cage half naked and beat the shit out of another man who's also half naked and fight for their life, so to speak. Man, it takes a special kind of person mentally to do that.
For men and women, I think I said it earlier, or I think we saw it save it to this point. If you're a man or if you're a one man, and if you have another significant counterpart that don't respect what you're doing in this aspect of martial arts, boxing, or just competing in general, leave that person, man. Because you're putting your all into what you're doing to make a better future for them and you. If they don't understand that, then shit, fuck you. Because it's like, why argue? Why go against the grain? Why consistently hurt yourself and stress yourself to the point where you already established this before the 4th that y'all even got to where y'all are? Now you got to consistently argue. You got to consistently remind. You got to do all this crazy stuff. It's not that serious. They know. They knew.
Montrel, we've been at this for 2 hours and 10 minutes roughly. Before we end, man, but first of all, thank you for spending 2 hours with me. You know what I mean? Is there anything you want to, obviously you got a fight in September with Shamrock FC.
I wanted to say shout out to Slapwoods. That's one of my sponsors. Shout out to everybody in St. Louis. Shout out to the STL cannabis community. Shout out to the office. Shout out to Cola Lounge. These are two cannabis lounges that are established of real legit establishments that's here in St. Louis. That if you guys ever want to find some quality bud or some quality flower, hit them up or look them up, or just hit me up and hit me up and I give you some information. You can hit me up at Sir Two Code. That's my bad. I'm over it.
We're gonna tag you on everything.
SirToocoldMMA. Like, don't mind me because originally my original Instagram was Two Code MMA, so I had to add the Sir. So mind me for that.
How
shit.
established of you, sir?
Hey, I had to put the king, but that's my gamer tag though. So if you guys play any type of fight games or games, that's Sir Two Code on PlayStation. So you guys fuck with that. Fuck with me. Two Code TV on YouTube. That's the number 2 Code COLD TV. Shit, we going up from here, man. I appreciate Easy Talk. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Montrel, thank you.
I appreciate
Seriously.
you. No, for shit show. Like, like I said, you guys, pimping is a non-contact sport, man. You guys do not have to. No, for real. Hear me out on what I'm finna say. Your freedom is everything, man. Like, domestic violence is not real. Domestic violence is not really to the point where you should have put yourself through the situation where you have to jeopardize your freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys should always be able to leave, and you do not have to put yourself in a situation where you're jeopardizing your freedom. Knowledge is power. You need to make sure you know that. And at the end of the day, you don't know it all. So understand the next person. You know what I'm saying? And that's the best I can leave you with, man.